Azerbaijan Judo Federation have put on a show of a lifetime. It's most probably anticipated to be the best world championships ever for judo.
It's very exciting to be here this morning. We're really looking forward to a tremendous week of judo. And here we go.
And here we start with the first match out, and these gentlemen will be very, very nervous indeed. And the opening match of the competition, and as we know as athletes, they only know how their day's going to go when they get that first match under their belt.
Yeah, that first match is always the toughest.
Oh, definitely. There's no doubt about it. And the atmosphere just sitting here, even ourselves, we've been sitting there, sort of the stomach has been churning. The atmosphere has been awesome, really, hasn't it? But quite nerve-wracking for everybody that's involved, not only just the athletes, but even the referees as they came in.
So we have Baku from Morocco.
And he's starting off a little bit slow. Well, he's starting off a little bit faster here, and he's now with that Sianagi attempt, and he's working down into the knee waza. He's got the shimi waza there, but across the chin. So a good attempt, but an aggressive start for Baku.
That Judo shime is really a terrific. It's a terrific shime. He had it across the chin. So.
That's it, and that's the problem when you enter so quickly. That it's quite erratic, and for the athletes, they're not sure roughly where it should be going or can see that for themselves. Nice attack there for Koichi.
Oh, another Judo coming in. But again, he's got it right up across the chin.
He needs to sort of pump that a little bit deeper there.
Lithiev looks well prepared for it. He's kind of making sure his chin is down. Doesn't want to get choked.
Really wouldn't want to be traveling too much in the knee waza and being on the receiving end of that shimi waza. There's definitely no doubt about it.
Slips to the side. First really positive attack. Lithiev. Oh, coming in again.
An attempt of a Sutemi waza there, but didn't really pay off for him, but he's piling a little bit more pressure. Now he's starting to come back into this contest. It was a very slow start for him in the opening minute, but now he's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable here, and he's starting to come back in force.
Already 2 minutes.
He's just gone halfway through this contest. No scores at the moment, but Baku from Morocco picks up a Shido. But
Lithiev got this.
Well, Lithiev there has a Wazari on the board, and short there, I missed that one. I must admit, the
was more successful than we thought.
Must have accounted, and so the Bulgarian now leads from a very rocky start.
And still coming in very positively, not resting on that Wazari at all.
Well, it has to, as we know, the accumulation of those Shidos can come so quickly, and still with minute and a half remaining in this contest, you can't really afford to sit back on it.
We're going to get another look. And here he goes.
Well, it was lovely.
He was definitely on his side.
Definitely. It was a nice control there.
Yeah. But it was so quick. He turned so quickly to his front that it was difficult to see.
Well, I think what we'd seen is that we were looking for the knee waza, wasn't we? A couple of times we've seen attempts of shimi waza, and we were looking to see if that was going to follow through, that we forgot
and then all of a sudden
that there was a throw getting him down into the knee waza to start with. Well, for the Bulgarian, he's in a very good position now. We're just coming up to the last minute. Baku now will start feeling the pressure in this opening match, and he knows if he doesn't get past this one, it's an early shower for him.
Yep, first and out. One of these guys will be having a short day.
Yes.
And Basu's really got to get something going here. He does not have the time to waste.
Well, the last place he wants to be really is on the receiving end in the knee waza, and you can see there's very little action for the Moroccan and very little opportunity to gain from being in the knee waza.
Baku picked up a scratch on his face there, probably early on.
Well, Baku, the African champion, and Agadir this year picked up the bronze medal, has had some good performances throughout the year. And but he's really finding himself on the receiving end of the
now-
Bulgarian skills.
Yeah. Now Lipiev is starting to play a bit more defensively, trying to run out the clock. Basu's really got to come after it. He's got nothing to lose at this point. And he's trying to set it up, Lipiev is coming away.
Well,
Wouldn't
6
be surprised if
seconds
he
to
picked up
go.
a Shido here.
Yes.
Yep, he did.
Well, it's a Shido apiece, but seconds are ticking away,
Yeah.
and Basu, it's looking an early shower for this young man, and he'll be desperately disappointed.
Very disappointed.
He
You could see
started off
it.
so well, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he really did. He had the command. He had the initiative in the first
Yeah,
whole
and it was the
couple minutes.
Sutemiwaza, the Sumigeshi that we saw that was
yeah.
controlled very nicely and scored the Wazari. So a great win for the Bulgarian, who goes through to the next round.
Right.
But we are going to now go across to the women's under 48 kilo category, and we'll be covering pool A and B on tatami 1. So Emma of New Zealand will be an interesting one, and Selekitiova representing Uzbekistan. This is the next match that will be coming up, and there you can see some highlights of that previous match. So now we're 48s, pool A and B. Overall 60, let's check, I think 48 competitors. Yeah, 43 judokas are represented in this weight category.
The overall tournament is huge, with around 800 competitors.
Yes, just under
Nearly
that.
300
wasn't
countries.
it? An amazing turnout. I think it's the largest ever World Championships for judo in the senior category.
Okay.
We'll see they're looking for some Niwaza. Now the New Zealand team have been coming on quite nicely. There's been some real progression there, along with the Australian team as well. So I'm sure we'll see some very good performances throughout the week from these two countries.
A strong Sewanage entry by Rouse. But Selakitinova wrote it out very well. Some moderately aggressive Newaza here. I think they're, even though it's the second match for us, it's still the first match for them, so they're probably still waking up a a little bit.
Well,
overcoming those nerves.
The nerves play, don't
Yeah,
they? And
they really do. First match,
however
first day.
much you warm up in the warm-up area, it never can replace how you feel out there in that contest.
Yeah. Rouse coming in with that sort of external wakigatame attack, which has been quite risky in tournaments past. So letting her know that she's still in this match there.
Well, the Uzbek really is
see again with that.
Yeah, she's
wakigatame.
struggling a little bit with the kumikata and the Uzbek. She's really not getting the first hand
not.
on. And what's quite interesting is seeing the Rouse. She's just hitting before her opponent. She senses the slight danger of her opponent coming in for the attack, and I think it's just a matter of time for Uzbek to come over the top. She's got a good high collar grip, but she
did.
left herself very vulnerable for the counter there.
Yeah. But I like her posture, and Rouse picks up the for the Shido for escaping with the head, which is the danger when you're in that extended jigotai position. So each player has a Shido. Again, coming in with that external.
Looks very, very awkward, doesn't it?
is.
The arm is
And
wrapped over, but you could see the elbow gets tucked up in the air, so it loses a little bit of power.
Yeah.
And the generation of following through, she just seems to get stuck halfway through.
It is a really risky thing to do because you can easily catch your opponent's arm in a very awkward place, and there have been some injuries in the past, which we certainly want to avoid. I know that in the referee materials that I've seen, they're looking particularly at that. I wanted to make sure that.
Well, Selakitinova really has to do some work now. She's been on the receiving end with the first kumikata exchange. She comes in there for a makukomi. You could see that she was trying to get the lapel, but the elbow got tucked up in the air, and she lost the power to be able to generate through for the attack.
Right, she didn't have the entry that she really needed. But she's coming after the newaza really strongly. Really trying to come after this, but...
Oh, what a bit of danger here now.
Rouse reverses it, reverses the initiative. Okay, 1 minute left in the match. Both players, I think, are fully awake now. No score on the board for either one.
Well, they're starting to become a little bit more aggressive in their gripping. And here you have it there. You've got the Uzbek going down into the newaza, trying to capitalize there, punishing her opponent down in the newaza. But she still really has to work out what she's trying to achieve down there.
And Rouse has hit that drop sewanage a couple of times now. She heard it early on and has come back to it. She's been pretty consistent in the attacks that she's been launching. She's not careful. She's got to make them really convincing, though. I'm not sure that she's doing it so much to throw as to just show that she's still in the match. Again with that external wakigatame attack.
Well, this youngster, Salo Kitsanova, in Tashkent Junior Asian Cup, took a silver medal. And so she's still a young, impressionable young lady coming through, gaining a lot of experience and some exposure here at this World Championships.
Yes, already
and making a really good account of herself here in this opening match. But she is down with 2 shidos. One more would result in the Hansokimaki as we go into golden score.
Okay.
So it's not the ideal situation for Salakitsinova. One more shido, so she can't really afford to make any more silly errors within this contest.
She can't let Rouse dictate the pace, so she's got to come in. But Rouse is really stepping it up, coming in with that big shimiwaza, but over the chin.
She's definitely piling on the pressure, and she knows the position is, and tactically as well, she's playing to that. She knows if she stays very strong, comes in once more, hitting her opponent first. There's a lot of work that's been coming from the New Zealand.
But Salakitsinova is still in the match, coming around, not letting her get that Jijigatame. And really working positively to get a turn here.
Desperately trying to turn her opponent over there in the Niwaza. Sadly, the referee sees that there's very little option there for her and is calling the mate, bringing him back up into the Tachiwaza position, where Rouse has been really dominating throughout this contest there by just hitting her opponent first. But that was a good entry.
Still in it. Let's see if she can really... But Rouse is just too canny. She's just not letting Salakitsinova get in close enough to really threaten her position, balance.
Rouse has won last year the Oceania Championships. Very strong athlete indeed, and a silver medal this year in the Oceania Senior Championships.
Nice transition from the Tachiwaza to the Newaza. Just really seamless on Rouse's part. Not ending up with anything really definitive, but still a nice, nice concerted, continuous attack. Uh-oh. That's never a good sign.
No, it doesn't. But I think it's just a disadvantage for a gi to be open.
Right.
When you go to exchange on the kumikata, the jacket just disappears, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There is not as much leverage on that kimono that you would hope for if it's all out. The belt secures it and gives you the security you need. But there was a poor drop there for the Uzbek, and I've got a sense that this could be the possible third and final shido if she's not careful. They've let that go.
Yeah.
So obviously felt there was much more engagement and a bit more movement in it, but from this angle it looked a blatant drop. Under pressure.
Oh, trying.
Came in with the upper part of the body but left the feet wide out.
Way out. Never stepped in.
Well, this has been a real battle. These ladies have been out there for 6 minutes, and no surprise, any of the athletes that are turning up at this World Championships are well conditioned and prepared for battles.
But you can really see the difference in seasoning and experience between these two players.
Definitely. There's a lot more maturity coming from the young lady from New Zealand, Rose.
How old did you say Selleck?
Well, she was fought in the junior championships this year, so she's still a junior by age, so she'll be under 21. So yeah, she's still a junior in fighting age.
I like her posture. I like her approach.
She's got a very aggressive, when she connects with that right hand high up into the collar, she becomes very, very dangerous.
And she's driving Roos back there.
Yes.
So she's still in it.
That was the first major comeback I've seen here, that she looked like she had a little bit of control. Rose up until now has just hit it to the post each time she's been first. But that was the first time from the Uzbek that she got the high collar grip, elbow tucked in, and she dominated. Like you say, she had nice posture, and that's still very strong for her. Her arm over the back, she's trying to pile on the pressure, coming in, engaging. Sotogari left herself a little bit vulnerable there.
Yeah.
Oh.
From Harai to Osoto, but didn't have the Kuzushi to really bring Roos around. I think she's feeling this match a bit. Been playing for 7 minutes now. More than 7 minutes if you count all the stoppage time.
Yes, it's a long time to be out there, and they have really physically battled this out.
I think we're going to get a third Judo here.
Possibly. And it's Rose after that. What a turnaround. Well, it was that high collar grip that did it. She controlled in the latter stages of that contest, and she pulled it back for someone that was dominated right through for the first round of that contest in golden score.
If you just hang on.
Turned it around.
Just hang on.
Well, that was a great win. And a big surprise. Now we have coming up, and we might see a few. No, we've got no highlights from that one, but here we're coming up to the next match, representing the USA, Jarrell, and she's up against the Cuban. Well, this is going to be a very difficult one. The Cuban.
Hurtado Munoz, yes.
Hurtado Munoz. So this is going to be a tough match. There's no doubt about it.
Nope. But Caitlin is one of the toughest players I know. I've known her for a long time.
Well, you know her very well, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So, and you said that she just recently got married. Well, obviously, marriage suits her very well. She steps across with that Taitoshi.
Yes, up to the summer she was Caitlin Boisseau.
Yeah.
But now she's Caitlin Jarrell. Nice Taitoshi, but couldn't quite pull it through. Oh, coming in, taking advantage, really working on. If she can't get the throw, she's going to go for some kind of konsetsu waza there, it looked like.
Well, Hurtado Munoz is really, she hasn't actually settled into this contest yet. She got a bit of a wake-up call with that Taitoshi. I think that stunned her a little bit in the opening exchanges of this contest.
But that's what Caitlin really needs to do. She needs to come out and really bring it to her.
Well, as we know, the Cubans are very, very strong, and especially in the kumikata, they're strong grips,
very strong,
control quite nicely, and they bide their time, don't they? So for Caitlin Jarrell, she really has to keep the pressure on. She has to keep moving. She cannot afford to just grip up and battle against the strength, the power.
One thing I'm seeing in Caitlin's play today is that she's playing a very measured kind of judo, even though very explosive there. As soon as she gets the grip, she's attacking.
The arm around the back looks very convincing there.
But she's being very careful not to give the Cuban any kind of inertia to use. So very smart match being played by Jarrell.
Again, Jarrell coming in with the first attack. She's just trying to be first every time, every opportunity she can. not allowing the Cuban to settle in at all. Good tactical ploy against a very strong Cuban who comes over the back, and that's where they're dangerous, when they get deep onto that back.
And the Cuban could feel it. You can see how Hurtado Munoz is really consistently going into jigotai every time Gerald is coming in with a strong grip. And she's doing a really interesting, coming in with a right hand attack, but then immediately switching to the left for the attack. So she's got a strong left stance, but she's going to reach with her right. That's what she's done each time. See? Reaching with the right, and then attacking left. If she can just get both hands, if she's able to get both hands in there, Hurtado Munoz is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, she has to be a little bit more precise in her feet, trying to get them to connect better. At the moment, it's a little bit throwing caution to the wind at the moment. Under a slight bit of pressure there.
Yeah, this was the first time I think Cuba came in with the first grip.
12 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in this contest. Jarrell down with a Shido, and is starting to look a little bit concerning there, but as you could see, the shimiwaza was there. But I don't think, looking at that end, did the Cuban realize how dangerous position she put herself in.
Yeah. That was close.
Hurtado now starting to pick up pace. Now she's starting to become very strong, and she's engaging a lot more in this contest. But that's a nice turn, a good
nice
change of
combination,
direction.
very nice for the Wazari. And Gerald gets on the scoreboard.
Jarrell, that was a good change of direction. We saw a glimmer of that earlier on a minute ago, when
Several
she came in
that
around the back, but she just didn't have
that. Very nice.
That was very nice. Excellently done. She showed for the forward attack and then switched it to the rear. Nicely executed.
And now she switched her strategy.
Oh, well, that
very
could be
smart.
Upon.
Very smart. Into Osakomi.
She
brilliantly played by the Cuban.
Looking very strong there as she secures the Osakomi. And Jarrell really desperately trying. Well, sadly.
Brilliant match.
It was a good match. It was very interesting, both showing a glimmer of hope getting through to that next round. But Hurtado Munoz has gone through for Cuba, and we'll see her a little bit later on. But for Jarrell, it was a great match.
It was a great match. Really, really well played. But that reverse Sewanage by Hurtado Munoz was really good. That's something that has come into much more common use. So here we're seeing that first throw by Jarrell, switching that direction really nicely. Really good.
How deep she was on that back.
That's just really good judo against a very, very canny player.
Yeah. Ungaranu of Romania now coming up in the white, and she's up against Costa of Portugal in the blue. Now this Costa, she's a little pocket rocket, as I would call her. Feisty little character, as you can see, straight in the first exchange, drops in with that Sewanage. And there on the attack, looking for an opportunity in the Niwaza.
She's definitely got the height and reach advantage, but that was a nice taking advantage of it by Costa, coming inside those long arms.
Well, Ungariano, she's a very strong, competent, and the Niwaza is exceptionally strong as well. So this is somewhere Costa has got to be very careful in when she exchanges into the Niwaza. So it'd be interesting to see if she gets that opportunity. Very tall athlete, so has that height advantage as she throws that arm over the top. Hopping in with that leg, and also she has the Ochu Chimata combination that for Costa, she being the shorter of the two, she's got to be careful and she's got to look busy. The Seoinage straight off at the start was a great start for that young lady. That type of work rate she's got to put in all the time, because she's got the ability to look passive against someone who's so tall, elegant and very strong and controlling with the grips. And as you can see, she's so upright, she's so controlling.
But Costa is doing, I think, exactly what you're saying. She's really staying in the match. She's keeping up the pace of her attacks.
Yes, she's looking busy out there, and that's the most important thing, is that with the head coming down, she's got to be careful.
Good switch.
Sutemi was her attempt. Again, she was under a slight bit of pressure with that high collar grip. She sensed it. She reacted quite well. And the most important is she's got to be very precise with her attacks. She can't afford to put any false attacks in and start accumulating the shidos. Now, Unguriava has got a shido there, as you can see. High collar grip, again, still keep pacing herself. Not looking under any pressure at this particular moment.
So we've seen shido for Costa. False attack. Just as you were saying, she can't afford to accumulate
she
these.
has to be very careful. Well,
and that was a much more convincing Seoinage. But Unguriano steps around it.
Unguriano, well, she's a very, very strong opponent. European Championships last year was bronze medalist, and has picked up some Grand Prix medals over the past couple of years, so she's a real contender here. And but Costa, she started off very well. The problem, the fear I have, is that the height advantage that the Romanian has. If she can connect with the high collar grip and those legs start to connect, she doesn't have to engage any further than that. She will look in control. A drop there from Costa, and in some cases, the Romanian, all it has to do is block that, will make her look very passive. So for Costa, she's got to move her. She's got to get her moving, and she's got to come in with these drops to break up that. And because I can't think she can stand up and toe-to-toe with her because of the height advantage the Romanian has.
Yes, I agree, and I think that's going to be the key to making her Seoinages more effective. She can't, as long as Unguriano is just really stable like that, she's going to be able to step around and just completely neutralize these attacks that Costa's launching.
Well, Costa, we all know Costa's. She's had some very impressive results this year alone. In Antalya, in Grand Prix, she was gold medalist, and Agadir, a silver medalist. At the World Championships of the Juniors in 2014, she was 5th place. So this is someone who's very familiar to be on that podium stage on a world circuit and world level tournament. She's a youngster that's still progressing nicely and has the tendency to make some errors, and I think the only disadvantage here in this contest is the height. She's got to stay. It's going to take a lot out of her condition-wise, because she's got to stay busy, she's got to stay active, she's got to stay in control, she's got to be first. That Seoinage, again, a good strong attack, puts her in control and avoids that high collar grip and the Uchimata Ouchigari from entering.
But again, she wasn't able to get Unguriano moving, so the Seoinage didn't go anywhere. She's remaining in the contest and shows she's still there, but she's not going to get on the board that way.
That's it. And the problem is as the minutes are ticking away, obviously they are going to get tired. Fatigue is going to set in. But the second for the Romanian, so one more, and this is
going to be Costa's match, the way we saw in that very first one. Oh, Kosoto Gake.
The Kosota, and that was nicely held with that foot just tucked in nicely around the heel.
I think Costa just barely avoided.
That's the danger for the Romanian. She's got those lovely long legs, but she doesn't really.
Chigari!
Chigari!
Chigari, right.
Beautifully executed.
But is it enough?
Yes,
Yes,
it
so
is.
Wazari for Costa with 23 seconds left.
Well, that was beautifully done, and the timing couldn't have been more perfect.
Ashiwaza answers another. And again with the Seoinage, she is going to keep the pressure on.
Well, she needs to, and They're going to have a look, I think, at that score. I thought, personally, it was dropped straight onto the bottom, and it stopped there. But the score would be if she continued with driving in that motion to get her onto her side. So it
just
was a drop, right? It just wasn't enough drive to follow it through for the Wazari.
Yep.
Beautiful attack, but still, sadly, not a score.
8 seconds.
I must admit, I had my suspicions on it, but when it happens so quickly and you see it for the first time, you focus on the actual the attack more than the score itself.
Well, I'm sure Ungariano's breathing a little easier.
She's a relief.
She really dodged
Definitely. Well, this has been a very interesting match, a real battle and a half between these athletes. And some good exchanges from the Kosota to the Kochigari. Oh, beautifully done. Again, once more.
And this time to her side. There we go.
And this time she made it count.
That's it. In the first 9 seconds.
Brilliant. Now, the next match coming up.
So that was neat. I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, carry on.
So that was neat in how all of those sewanages all going in one direction.
And
all set up then these really powerful switching directions into the kochigari, which worked twice.
Kochigaki.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
Nice.
She really had to overstretch herself with those little legs coming through. But what power she generated through with the upper body.
And just on her side.
Yes.
Just on her side.
But like you say, we saw it forward, all the time. Sianagi.
And in the last few seconds.
When she became tired and then she thought she was becoming more predictable, she switched it.
And it caught Ungariano on her flat.
It was just too much for her to take in.
Ungariano had been constantly bringing herself backwards, so really nice setup.
She was bracing on that Sianagi every time, so the weight was on the heels. This is going to be a very tough match indeed. Not a nice match to have for both these athletes would have dread this one. Rishoni of Israel in white and Cherniak of Ukraine in the blue, both exceptional athletes, both deserving to get through to the next round. There's no doubt about it, but only one's going to be able to do that today.
It's the luck of the draw.
And that's it. Well, there's no love lost between those two.
They are not going to make this easy. Rishoni in for the sewanage.
Beautifully executed.
And with the wazari. Oh, but waved off. Ukraine, Cherniak looking a little rattled there for a moment, I think. So I'm sure she was going to come right back. Cherniak reaching in with that long right leg. Cherniak also looks, and we have another sort of height advantage on Cherniak's part.
Well, this is another young lady, Rishoni, that I would call a little pocket rocket. My goodness, she is a bundle of dynamite when she gets out there. She fights so hard. She's got an aggressive approach to her match. And like most of the Israeli girls, they give 110%. They're so well prepared, so fit indeed. So this is a lady that will battle her way right through to the end and more. Has had some great results throughout the year and some wonderful performances, her and her teammate. And be interesting to see how they perform.
Coach looking very intense.
Well, bundle of nerves, these coaches, because it's out of their hands now.
It's so hard to say.
It's so out of control for them.
Cherniak really likes coming in with that long right leg. Oh, Rishoni turning it for the wazari. Oh, but Cherniak. Wait a second. Let's see. I thought that was Rishoni's score. Yes, it is Rishoni's score.
Well, on paper, Cherniak is the favourite to go through on this one, where she was a bronze medal in the European Championships this year, and also at the beginning of the year started so well, where she picked a bronze medal up at the Paris Grand Slam. So very powerful athlete, but she really is having to battle her way against Rishoni here, who has no respect out there for what's in front of her. She is giving it, she doesn't care. It's the first fight for her, and that's all that's important. She's going to take each one as it comes. And a feisty little character that she is. And
Cherniak's really pouring on the pressure at this point.
Well, Cherniak, as you could see, she got that belt grip, and she literally lifted Rishoni's feet off the ground.
But Rishoni coming right back and coming in with that Sankaku attack. Just not giving an inch. Both players really, really reaching for this now.
Well, it's a real battle. Those long legs of the Ukraine. She's got the high collar grip. Very really good kumikata at this moment.
But
Rishoni comes in really with the drop. I think she was under a bit of pressure there.
A little pressure. That didn't look...
Got her out. I think...
But even if she picks up a Shido here,
I think it was a better than just standing toe-to-toe.
Right. She would have
definitely
gotten tossed. Yeah.
I think that would have played into Cherniak.
Better a Shido than any pawn.
Yeah.
Hurry up. Okay, no penalty. All right.
Well, a circling motion for Rishoni. She obviously keeps her distance, watching that long right arm coming over the top that opts for a lapel grip.
Yeah. Oh, Rishoni answering with a Sewanage, but from the outside and behind the leg.
A little bit scrappy at the moment, but she's looking busy. She's doing enough to keep. But there's the Shido.
Yoshino gets the Shido.
She's under a minute remaining. Now, she has to stay very strong here. She has to keep that movement to avoid that long legs and the limbs
just
coming
like that.
over.
3 Ashiwaza attacks there by Cherniak.
Tayatoshi coming there, as we know. The Uchimata and Tayatoshi for Cherniak is what is her forte, but at this moment she's not actually getting a settling process going on here.
No, Rishoni's doing an excellent job of keeping the grip from getting sucked into a compromised position. So now Cherniak, we couldn't see what the penalty was for, but they now each have a Shido with 30 seconds left.
Cherniak, again, Sutemi Waza this time. Slight change of plan. Pulls her opponent down into ground, but there Rishoni looking to be busy in the Niwaza knows ticking away that time is an advantage for her. She's going to get those little legs out if she tries. She ties up the upper body. Look, a little sneaky look on that clock. Well,
she's like, if I can just keep working this, 3 seconds to go, and it's going to be Rishoni's match.
Right, well, do you know what? You have to take your hat off for that one. She
really well done.
Well. Yeah. That was most probably the match of her worlds to get over that first hurdle. So for her, that's going to build a lot of confidence as she enters into the second round and onwards. So
where she will face Tanaki
she'll need
Funa.
a lot of confidence in that way because she's got another battle coming up with Tanaki. So, but great performance on the first match.
Yeah,
definitely
really good.
Cannot take that away from her. Senturk now coming up. Oh, here we have some highlights, which is going to be for our delight. There you have the Sienagi driving through, nicely scoring the Wazari.
I like the way she switched. It was Sewanage, and then she switched to Ippon in order to really bring it down.
And what was good about that, she didn't turn to take the attack forward.
No.
She actually took it off to her vulnerable side, off to the side.
That's right.
And that was that's where she got that score from. I think if she'd rotated, it might have been blocked easier.
Right. But she found the hole that in the stance.
Senturk here representing Turkey in the white, Figueroa of Spain in the blue.
Oh, in for the Jugogujime. Oh, very nice. Does she have it? It looks deep. Oh.
It looks uncomfortable from here, but how deep under the chin was it? Well, Senturk looking quite comfortable and composes herself, looks...
very commanding.
She's taken a little bit of control here. She's oozing confidence out there. Figueroa, she's looking a little bit apprehensive, isn't she? She's... a little bit unsure.
Whoa! Where did that come from? Right.
Kosota, Tomonagi?
Tomonage, but cartwheeling out of it.
good aerial awareness there. But what a battle.
Yeah, and so that's amazing to see too. When you see players who somebody comes out like all gangbusters on you, and then all of a sudden you're faced with this wildcat, and then keeping your head, staying in the game, not getting too rattled.
Exactly, and this is like you couldn't have said it any better. A wildcat, because it is. They're just so vicious out there.
Figueroa with her first positive attack there. Another Tomonage attempt.
Centurk at the beginning of the year took a bronze medal in the Antalya Grand Prix, and just out of the juniors last year, a couple of years now, and so it's a young up-and-coming lady from Turkey, and they've got some strong athletes coming through quite nicely, still very young.
Yeah, but so concerted, really coming in and trying to find the least advantage, just finding the tiniest opportunity to come in and launch that Tomonage. I didn't think she was going to be able to come in, but she did lift Figueroa and get her moving, but it was really neat.
Well, she comes over the top again, very assertive, looking to create an opportunity for herself. Really demanding respect out there and controlling the pace of this contest as she turns and rolls her opponent over, looking to try and capitalize in the Newaza. Very little on offer there. Figueroa keeping very nice and out of trouble. Figueroa, bronze medalist in Agadir Grand Prix this year.
Halfway through the match.
10 of Sutemiwaza drawing her opponent down into the Newaza. Figueroa trying to get past those legs, but she looks very comfortable, the Turk, in the Newaza.
That was an interesting little attack. I wouldn't be surprised if she picked up a false attack there, but no, apparently not. Just going down into Newaza without trying to affect a throw.
Oh, she throws that right hand over deep onto the back,
Figueroa
drawing her opponent down into the Newaza. Figueroa really only had one option, was that's to go down. Under a bit of pressure now, and it's starting to show throughout this contest. Got no Shidos on the board, 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining.
But it was a smart answer, Center coming in with that high attack and Figueroa going low with Sutemiwaza, looked like. But
again, she comes firing forward, doesn't she, with that high collar grip. Draws her opponent down into the Newaza. Doesn't seem to want to battle down there so much.
The pace of the match has really kind of slowed a bit. Let's see if they pick it up here in the last minute. Neither player has a score on the board or a Shido. Both players have been coming in consistently with good, strong attacks. Sure, both of them are thinking, okay, 30 seconds to go. Figueroa picks up a Shido.
Well, 39 seconds remaining, and it's been a real battle between these athletes. And it's still a match that could go either way.
Oh, yeah.
Centurk dominated with the grips, has more or less dictated the pace of this contest up until now. But that could all change now, knowing that there's a little... We're coming to the end of the contest and we could be going into the golden score.
So all of Figueroa's attacks have been forward. These big, that's Timiwaza and these Ochis she was just attacking. Let's see if she switches directions.
Ochigari.
There, Sewanage.
Yes, well, good. Once more, another good combination. Good flurry of attacks there.
But Centurk just wasn't in the right place. Centurk is, she's got to pick up the attack as well. Figueroa, I'd say, has two or three attacks to every one of
Figueroa starting to change a little bit now. She's starting to come back and seems to have a little bit more in the tank here as far as condition is concerned. She's being a little bit more assertive here now in this golden score. The Ashiwaza, nicely executed, stumbling her opponent down into the Niwaza, and is now looking for the Shimiwaza, but I'm not quite sure if it's...
and
it doesn't look like
Wrong
it could
angle.
be under the chin.
Right.
But she's persevering with it.
Going
There's
for
no
Gigi.
doubt. Nice
Switched
change.
up to Gigi Gatame, but
again,
stopped.
a very positive start to the
very
golden
nice.
score.
Yeah. But switch now with Figueroa coming in with the initial attack. I agree with you that Centurks doesn't seem to have... She's...
I thought that was a
Second
little bit
Judo.
harsh, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I think so,
I
too.
really thought that was harsh.
But, you know, that's why I'm sitting up here, not out there.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I'm not refereeing. I just thought, if anything, there would maybe a Shido apiece, because although it might have been a poor attack, Centurk has really been holding back. But there's the Tomonagi. She draws her opponent down into the ground, which means that it takes the pressure off her as far as the attacks are concerned. She's not holding back too much.
But that definitely didn't have the threat that her earlier Tsutemiwaza did. Figueroa, I think, is now wise to the Tomonage. Yeah, it's just not
She's
nearly
waiting
as
for that
effective.
now. Yeah.
Which is saying a lot, considering the power of Centurk's attacks and the legs that she's got and the reach. It's interesting if Figueroa has really figured that out. 1:20 already into golden score. Oh, Chigari.
Well, is that a score?
And
Did she manage to get out from this angle? It looked like she just about got out of that. But
yeah, these athletes' ability to really rotate and not take the fall is really something extraordinary.
the right hand coming round the back for Centurk as she controls quite nicely.
Again.
Drawing her opponent down into the Niwas. I think this is a little bit of a ploy to get her down into the ground, to be honest. But like we said, we've seen the Sutemi Wazas quite a few times now, and they've been blocked several times quite easily by Figueroa.
So I'm surprised that Centurk doesn't have a secondary attack. It's all been this one direction. With her height, Uchimata and Haraigoshi.
You would have thought she's not doing the style of techniques that you would think for someone who's slightly taller than her opponent. You would think that the Uchimata combination, possibly those long legs coming across for the tied Hoshi, but she again persevering with the Tomonagi, drawing her opponent down into the Niwaza. It's becoming so predictable now,
It's totally
isn't it?
predictable. Figueroa's figured it out. I wonder if Centurk has a lot of young women her own size to train with. That's something you would do on larger players. So I'm wondering if she's used to practicing perhaps with the men's team, where they might be a little taller and stronger. So Tomonage is going to be a very powerful attack.
I think you get this, don't you, a lot when you've got the lightweights. It's like how many partners, sparring partners,
because she is
do they
only
have
48
at that
kilos.
size? Yeah.
And, even though she's taller than Figueroa, she's still a 48-kilo player. So...
Well, been over in Turkey for
Osoto.
That's a lovely attack there with the Osotogari. She took it slightly off to the side and caught her on a bit of a vulnerable position. But again, Centurk reacted very well. Her body reaction, her aerial awareness is very good.
So Figueroa's attacks have definitely, I think, had more purchase. They're more consistent. Unless she makes a mistake, she's going to catch Centurk at some point. But it's interesting to me that Centurk doesn't even have a Shido.
Yeah.
So Figueroa's... Uchimata!
Uchimata there.
So she's changing it up. She's definitely changing it up. She's had that Ochigari. She's had the external Ashiwaza. She's had Osorogari, and now Uchimata.
She's now getting that turnover nicely done. She controls up. Beautifully done there.
Centurk really hanging on to the leg.
But what's quite good, Centurk.
But
Figueroa's now tied
has
up
the
ahead,
time,
which is
and
really
she's got it.
perfect.
Okay, nice. I think that Centurk just got worn out.
No,
but she's fighting.
Working.
She's still fighting.
She's still working there.
Oh,
she's exhausted.
There we got the Wazari. The
Just
only
shows
question
you
is,
how
will we get the
strong
opponent?
Figueroa is.
Figueroa.
It doesn't matter. She's
Ipon.
got the Wazari, if anything.
Well, Figueroa definitely earned that match.
I definitely think that she was the right person to go through, because in that golden score, she did all the work.
Yeah, she did.
She really did turn that contest around. And right at
Especially
the beginning.
from that beginning.
She
Right.
came out as a
Center
fighter.
came out. Really, yeah.
Center really put her on the back foot here and put the pressure on right from the beginning. Senka Turk, in the opening minutes of this contest, looked like it was going to be all over and done with within the 4 minutes. But
Not how you start. It's how you finish.
I know, and that's a typical example there. We've seen a couple now like that.
Yeah.
So nice.
Very strong. Well played by Figueroa. Well earned match. So up next.
Next one coming up, and this will be a very interesting match, will be Nagayama of Japan and Zabo of Hungary. So this is going to be very interesting. The under 60 kilo category, so we've switched back to the men. Nagayama is the number 1 seed, 22 years of age, this young man, and very impressive athlete, beautiful skills. But as we know, Zabo is very skillful in his own right and has a lot of experience under that belt.
Still, he can't be very happy with his first match.
Someone had to have it, and I'm sure coming into these competitions, if you're not the number 1 seed, or number 2, there's every risk of having such a strong opponent in your opening round.
Nagayama taking a very strong right-hand grip. In for the Sewanage.
Well, no big surprise. Nagayama has had a wonderful performance this year and build up to this World Championships in Budapest just recently. Took the gold, also a gold medal in Dusseldorf, and a junior world champion. So he's got a lot of results and a lot of confidence built up there.
So Nagayama continues to control, I think, the pace and the posture of this match. Zabo's really trying to figure out how to solve this puzzle.
Yes, he's looking a little bit apprehensive in the engagement.
See how defensive he is. He's on his heels. Nagayama's got a very positive stance.
Yeah, he's trying to avoid the Seoinage, but what he's not realizing that as well as the Seoinage, he's got the Ashiwazas as well, the Osutagari, that's beautifully done when he gets that opportunity. And that nice combination that Nagayama has from the Seoinage and the switch, when he sees the movement and the body positioning of his opponent trying to avoid the Seoinage entry.
False attack on Zabo. Oh, I really don't want to see this decided by Shidos.
Oh no. Well, it's a draw down on the sleeve, as you can see. He's pulling down.
Oh.
So that's the second Shido.
And the third Shido for Zabo.
Well, Well, for Zabo, he'd be really upset with that. You wouldn't want to go out in your
not the way you
first match in the World Championships with 3 penalties. But Nagayama takes the win and swiftly goes through to the second round without really breaking sweat.
So, kind of a match like that's just a disappointment, as you say. I mean, if you're going to play the world champion, if you're going to, the number 1 seed for the World Championships, you should go out and really give it everything you've got.
Yeah.
He's not going to look back on that match with any sort of fond memories.
Oh, definitely not. Chikviminiani of Georgia now should be coming up.
Yes.
And
Chikviminiani from Georgia versus Alipiev, who we saw earlier today.
Well, he's already got 1 match under his belt for Chikviminiani. This is his first match of the day. Well, the crowd already warming up here.
They've got announced one of their home players on mat 2 from Azerbaijan. Well, it's definitely not going to be an easy match
for either one of them, but Chikminiani, they know, is the favourite. Tbilisi this year was a gold medalist and also picked a bronze medal up in Dusseldorf. So he's had a good year of performance in lead up to this World Championships.
But Alipiev is really taking it to him.
Alipiev had, in his first match, done very, very well. He performed outstandingly. But I think he's met his match here with the Georgian, who is now trying to punish him down in the Niwaza as he looks for the Jujigatami. But as you can see, that leg's caught up,
he would have a hard
really
time
kills
it.
the effect of finishing of that technique. The knee comes through now. He's trying to look to tie up the upper part of the body, and he doesn't do it very well.
Well, there's a
that's someone that's
traditional
out
outfit.
here to fight him. I wonder how he got through security.
Those are cigar holders.
Yes, you're just thinking there's a lot of metal on that man.
Alipiev really knowing that if he's going to win this match, it's going to be on his feet. So he's coming in, trying to find the entry.
Well, he's trying to get a little bit of a bounce, isn't he? He's trying to work those feet.
Chikminiani really staying very defensive. Just pulling the sleeves down, got his hips back.
I think for Chikminiani, it's just a settling process at this moment. It's his first match. He's not going to make any silly errors. He's going to bide his time here.
Very deliberate.
And he's really playing to the cautious side here without actually opening.
But he picked up the Shido there.
A Shido apiece.
Yeah.
Still, no pressure on either one. But
a warning saying you've got to keep it moving.
That's it.
I'm a little surprised that Alipiev picked up a Shido there. He's had all the positive attacks on the feet. And Chikminiani was clearly making the whole grip very, very difficult to advance. But here we go, standing much more upright. Okay, a second Shido for Alipiev.
Well, there the pressure now starts for Alipiev to now step up onto the next gear. He comes across with the Tayatoshi. He lost the upper body control, very deep with the legs. But sadly
really
didn't break the Kazushi.
Right. Under a minute to go. Neither player with a positive score on the board. Alipiev really speeding things up a bit, making Chikminiani move around a bit more. And Georgia really coming in. He really, really likes the Newaza. He's got a much better position for Jujigatami this time.
But that foot's still hooked in there. But I think he's going for the Osakomi here. He'll try and
that leg is in
control
the wrong place.
the upper part of the body. Now try and work that leg out. And he's controlled quite nicely there, his opponent. He needs to control that head that little bit deeper. The shoulder comes in on the opposite side.
Oh, and there he's got it.
Got it.
With 7 seconds left on the clock.
Well, the time.
And it's locked. Oh, will he get it?
Is he gonna get it?
Oh, no. Oh, he's got the Wazari.
Wazari anyway, so
okay,
it doesn't
that's
really
it.
matter for him.
Oh, that was close.
Well, that was
Randy
just all
Ippon.
about the timing, wasn't it?
Wow.
He couldn't have timed that any better. Chikminiani goes through to the second.
But Alipiev let him know he had a match. So, Chikminiani from Georgia.
Nice bit of judo there.
Yeah.
And he goes through to the next round. And he'll be up against Nagayama, so that'll be a very interesting but challenging match there for him. So now will he be a little bit relieved to get that one out under his belt? And here you have those highlights of that very contest. In the last dire seconds of the contest, the Osakami was held.
Look at how he's just sticking to him like glue. You know, it's amazing that...
Very powerful man.
How is he not getting out? And yet he's just holding on to him with...
Well, when you're in that position and you know it's the third round you're hopping into, you hold on for dear life
Peru?
as if your life means it. So Kalle of Peru here in the white, and he's up against the Australian.
Oh!
Jolly. Oh, lovely transition there. Nicely done. Kalle picking up the...
You're not getting that armbar.
That's it. You're not messing around there.
It was a really nice attack by Kaye. In for the Kataguruma, but Jolly really steps around it. Jolly is just really turning up the pace. Does not want to.
He's got a big spring in his feet, hasn't he? He's lively. I actually quite like the movement. I think he's very dynamic, isn't he?
He is.
Sometimes when you're too bouncy, though, it can leave you a bit vulnerable for the ashiwazas, and it's a bit scary that way. The Sutemiwaza, Tomonagi, as he tries to draw his opponent down into the niwaza.
But he was too high on the body. His foot was right up in his chest, leaving Kaye's entire torso.
Well, when you're not controlling the legs, the lower part of the body, then the jigatai comes in. You can drop your weight down and break the control.
Both players pretty comfortable on the mat.
Well, there doesn't look to be much of a threat down in the niwaza. Jolly just, as you can see, controlling quite nicely. His defense is down there very good. So,
I'm surprised that was close to an ippon.
Definitely close to ippon. Cianagi show, switching it to the koji. Beautifully executed.
Really sharp. Oof. But here we have Jolly now on the top.
Trying to be very
really being aggressive
down there.
Yeah. Pulling Kaye into the guard. But Kaye now locking things up. So both players are really savvy about both attack and defense.
It's actually quite a nice even match here, really. Both are giving, so they've got some glimmer of some real strong judo here.
But there's an interesting difference too. I think Kaye's Jolly just has his, as you say, this really dynamic quality to his play, whereas Kaye is very solid.
Yeah,
you know, so
it's
that's
a lot
an
more
interesting
power,
change.
isn't there? And there's speed and being very.
Of course, Kaye's got to have that first explosive attack, but so interesting little difference in style. Sewanage! Morote Sewanage, but just came off. Jolly came off the wrong side, and
he was still working, trying to punish him down in the niwaza, but Jolly looking comfortable down there. He doesn't look to be under any threat at this moment.
This is a great match. This is a lot of fun.
Well, Kalle there with a Wazari still in the lead, and we saw with the opening exchange in first minute of the contest, and has maintained that lead quite comfortably. But there's been a lot of actions. There's been some close calls. There's been some really interesting play here in this contest. And Jolly really still staying very much as a contender in this contest, even up to the last minute. But he's finding himself on the receiving end in the niwaza quite a few times now, which is the seconds are valuable.
That Tomonage again was, he's coming in for a really dynamic Tomonage, but it's just not placed well, and Kaye's really taking advantage of that.
Well, the problem is while he's down in the niwaza defending very nicely, and he can do that very well,
but the clock
is against him, and that's the problem. He's lost some very valuable seconds here in this contest that will go against him.
But Kaye's got to pick it up too. If he doesn't do some attacks, he's not going to pick up three shidos in 30 seconds. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
But in for the katatejime, but across the chin. Jolly is just going to play this until the last second, which, of course, he has. That's his only option.
Again, Seoinage.
Nice Seoinage.
Jolly just bounces off it, but again, he's on the receiving end. And,
Into Sumigaish, but
it's looking very unlikely that Jolly can come back from this now. He has to put something very special.
Good, strong, positive match. Oh, there.
Well, it's a poor
that should be
poor
a
attack, but that will be a Shido, but will he care?
But it doesn't matter. It's 3 seconds left.
Well, well, you've got to give him 10 out of 10. Jolly was there right to the end. He wasn't
really
going to give up any hope.
But
but sadly, it wasn't for Jolly today. He goes out in the second round, and Callie goes into the third round of the under 60 kilos in Pool B.
Well played, both players, both young men.
In white judo representing Russia, the current Olympic champion, Udranov.
There you have the win for Peru, Callie, and he'll be delighted with that. So,
yeah, good strong match.
Yeah, and he'll be up against the winner of the next match coming up.
Really pretty Kochigari.
Beautifully executed, wasn't it? But like you said, it was so close to being upon.
You saw, you'll see Jolly's head bounce off the mat. Bonk! If he had just turned a bit more, it would have been on his back.
That was a vicious attack there.
Yeah, really strong. It's amazing that he had the presence of mind to keep playing the rest of the match. That had to ring his bell a little bit. Okay, Carlino from Italy versus Preciado from Ecuador. Wow, players taking identical postures. Kinkayotsu situation.
Well, the Italians are very feisty athletes. Carlino. Well, you can see his leg being hooked right and looked very awkward there, didn't he? It wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, no.
It locked it to the front, which would have put a lot of strain on the hamstrings.
Right. False attack on both players. No? Didn't he give one to Carlino too? I thought he just did Carlino as well. Okay.
Preciado, as you can see, the arm over the top.
Oh, taking him backwards, changing directions.
Well, that was...
that was solid. You could feel it from here.
Oh, that looks so close to
that
a
was
pond.
very close. I bet
It'd be interesting to see that one again.
Yeah.
Right deep on the
coming in with the attacking with the hip, but then Ochigari. But see, he's elevated
it to the side.
Oh, Uchimata, Ippon for Preciado.
Preciado, well, he didn't mess around there, did he? He was straight up.
And he again had that strong over the back.
That was the danger, that belt grip.
And that was he trying the first time. And so he came in again and was able to get that first attack this time. So Preciado from Ecuador through to the next round. Here we go. We'll be able to look at this with that.
So dangerous, but so gutsy to be able to go in so deep.
Because he was going to lift.
He's quite high, isn't he, as well, when you think about it.
And then he comes in. This is for the Uchimata. And you could clearly see Carlino bridging out of that. Even if he hadn't been called for Ippon, he would have been called for bridging.
He tried to counter it, but he really just put more elevation to the technique, didn't he?
Yeah, a lot more.
Right, here we have Ashley Mackenzie of Great Britain, Oslu of Turkey.
Got caught in the throat. So one thought I want to, if Preciado plays somebody from Georgia or Azerbaijan later and tries that, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, definitely. The Uranagis are going to be there.
Uranagis,
he will just play into the Georgians.
So it'll be interesting to see
so
if that happens.
he's got to be very, very careful. But if he can throw in that deep and attack that quick, they've got to be ready for him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's that surprise action and possibly the underestimating. But you can't underestimate. They've seen what he's capable of doing. You can see how scary of a fighter he really is. He is dangerous.
He is dangerous.
We will see a few upsets, I think, with that young man. But here we have Mackenzie of Great Britain in the white. Attempting there is what looked to be like the Seoinage from the Tayatoshi exchange. Oslu defending quite nicely. Opening seconds exchange on a poor gripping, got him caught in the throat, which wasn't the best of starts for him. Tominagi drawing his opponent down. Mackenzie looking for an opportunity in the Niwaza. Now this young man, Ashley Mackenzie, has had a great year so far. He's performed so well, such maturity over the years. We've watched him, but this seems to be a good year for him. The timing has been perfect as he leads up towards the World Championships. He's been injury free. He's been very comfortable, and he looks so happy and enjoying his judo at this moment. Oslu in The Hague at the end of the year, that was a gold medalist, and Agadir this year was silver medalist along with Antalya Grand Prix, a silver medalist. He's no stranger to being on the podium at a world-class tournament, so this will be a real battle between these two athletes that know each other so well. Mackenzie picking up a Shido for defensive action. The pitter-patter of the lack of engagement of the grips. Comes in with the Uchigaris. Siatoshi. Nice combination of attacks there.
He's not going to sit on that Shido.
Well, Oslu just was a little bit flat-footed there.
Why?
Well, I was surprised with that.
Why did he pick it up?
I'm not sure.
We didn't see the gesture.
I don't know.
It can't have been a false attack.
Well, obviously, Ashley has to settle down now. He's got the ability. Mackenzie really now has put himself under a lot of pressure. Comes across.
Oh, in for a
turn string.
Oh, but nope. Something happened to Oslu.
Not quite sure what happened there. It happened so quick, but he's looking still very quietly confident there. He's not let that phase him. He is in a very difficult situation. Two Shidos, one more mistake, and he's a hand sokomaki for Mackenzie of Great Britain. Oslu doing very well, but has been a bit on the receiving end of a battle. And
there was a beautiful throw just now. That too.
Well, that just says it all. That puts him through to the next round, and nicely executed. Okay.
So a bit of a disappointment for the Turkish crowd. Oslu is going to take a medical loss.
Well, what we can say with the crowd here today in this competition, they're very knowledgeable and do appreciate when they see quality judo out there.
It's a nice full crowd too.
Yeah, it's getting very busy. The first day, and
so who have we got next?
Right, well, I'm not quite sure what's happening. It looks like there's a little bit of medical attention going on there at this moment. So we've got a slight pause in progressing on to the next match. But that will be against Adonis Diaz of America, USA, and he'll be up against Kwon Young Kim of People's Republic of Korea. So that's
Kim Young-kwon.
and so that will be a very interesting match, quite a tough one, I think.
Oh yeah. Okay, the People's Republic of Korea, always very strong.
Well, it's definitely someone, a country you cannot underestimate.
Nope. I was having a great talk with Sheldon last night about how the People's Republic of Korea, they don't participate in a huge number of contests, but when they come in, they're always a threat. Always a very powerful
Oh,
presence.
definitely.
Okay, and here we go. I've known Adonis Diaz for a bit. He's a fine young man.
He's a great athlete. He has had some really good performances.
Oh, but there we go.
What a start for Kim.
Sewanage,
Hey.
really deep Sewanage.
Oh, well,
And
if
it
you're going
kept
to
the
start
control
out,
with the upper body and just barely stopped from. Look at that beautiful morote.
he
I can't
just-
believe Diana stepped through that.
he did so well to be saved off that, because that was looking like it was definitely going for a pawn.
And he right back in the match. But again,
Comes in
okay.
that Sianagi. He's got
Again,
the lapel
Morote.
grip and
Yeah.
the sleeve once more. He's ruffling up Diaz, that's looking a little bit apprehensive there.
In
He
for the
co-
Ochigari.
Ochigari overstretches himself slightly, just catches the heel and no more.
Kim's able to step out of it. Very powerful stance. Kim has the Shido. Don't know what it was for.
Diaz throwing that left hand high up onto the collar there, trying to control, and now he's got a very aggressive approach to
again.
this contest, desperately to try and come back and level this contest back up to Sianagi once
Sewanage
more.
again.
Well,
Fourth
Diaz
Sewanage.
does really well to get off those, but
In for
how many
Shinewaza.
times does he have to see that before it becomes another score?
Really working it very powerfully. Got the legs in to control. Bring the arms down.
Well, Kim hasn't even rested here in this opening.
I really wish I knew what that Shido was for. It was in the first 50 seconds after two powerful attacks. Oh, well.
Diaz really struggling to get
Kim is really
The
dictating the
appropriate-
pace of this match.
oh,
Maybe.
definitely first hands on, straight in for the attack each time.
Yep.
Diaz is really struggling to get two hands on his opponent at this moment.
Diaz-
He's trying, there's no doubt about it. He's engaging, coming forward, but he just doesn't seem to be able to connect with the
Kim's on the
kurikata.
inside.
High collar grip, he's got
Yeah.
a chance here, but he's
But-
failed to use it.
Yeah. And in for Tuanage. Switching directions.
He's got a good. Diaz has got a good, strong, high collar grip there, but he's a
he's
little
not
bit
able to get
slow to
anything going.
react.
Right.
He's very slow to set it up.
Kim is not going to give him the chance.
Kim moving away, as you can see, circling action, looking very busy, looking like he's got bags and bags of energy to spare. Diaz really now has to.
Sewanage. Changing up his Sewanage into Ippon Sewanage. But Diaz still doing a brilliant job.
He's
But so
start-
far it's all reactive.
He's starting to look a little bit frustrated as well.
Well, he's got to be. Look at that,
Koji!
Koji.
Oh,
Ochigari. Yeah,
yes,
Koji,
that's
right?
gotta be a
That's it,
Wazari.
Ippon. Or Wazari Aseti Ippon in any case. And
Well-
Diaz is just, of course, disappointed.
Well, Diaz really was on the receiving end right
That was
from the
so
beginning,
deep.
wasn't he?
Kim's upper thigh was around Diaz's heel.
From
he
the
was so
first,
deep.
From the first Wazari scored, Diaz was on the receiving end
Yeah.
right from the beginning,
Right.
and it really took him off on the back foot. He
Right.
really was surprised with that.
But that's what we, that's
And
what
I
we
don't
see.
think he actually had a chance
No.
psychologically to
No.
come back.
It was always
from
just
that
coming
shock.
in.
Well, Kim,
Beautiful match.
beautiful technique winning by Ippon with that Kochigak, and let's see if we can see.
Yeah, look at that.
Yes. Oh,
Oh, yeah. Clearly Ippon. Right.
definitely.
Just so deep. Straight to his back. There you go. And Diaz just knowing.
Well, Kim will be up against Mackenzie of Great Britain a little bit later on, so that'll be a very interesting match. Combination, the dynamics between those two. Be one to watch, definitely. We have now coming up Diop of Senegal in the white, and he's up against Nasson of Mozambique. Now you come all this way to the World Championships to fight a neighbouring country.
First match.
First match. So it's the draw, isn't it? But
of course,
the odds to have that happening.
My African geography is not good enough to know how far away Senegal and Mozambique are from each other. Africa, of course, is a huge continent.
It is a huge continent, but I would imagine these would have been up against each other quite considerably in African Opens and African continental tournaments. So,
Judo for Diop. Well, I don't know that he was any more defensive than Nassoni.
Well, Diop, African senior champion, championships, was a bronze medalist this year. 2 years out of the juniors, so he's still a young, impressionable man from Senegal, making his debut here in the first World Championships.
I think in a way these two are very lucky with the draw that they got. They're having a very familiar. I'm sure that they may have played each other before, and so sort of a relaxed entry into the tournament.
Yes. Diop there, as you see, he's picked up 2 Shidos. One more would result in the hand Sokimaki. It's not looking too clever for him at this moment. He looks a little bit starstruck out there.
And yet Nasson hasn't done much more.
No, it isn't really who looks more in
Soto?
control at this particular moment. In the flurry of ash he was, but really nothing too threatening
no
at all in this contest. No Kusushi at all.
Both trying to attack from pretty flat. We'll see if one of them can get a positive attack going here. Under 2 minutes. Nassoni's still looking for an entry. There we go, but not really taking advantage of the angle that he's got.
Kiko
in for the
Anano
Sewanage.
Is the referee from Japan out there refereeing this match.
The next contest on
Very good referee.
Second round, women under 48.
If Nassoni can get one more positive attack, Diop will be in a lot of trouble for getting third Shido. Ochi.
No Uchigari. You would have thought that there was an opportunity to switch it to the Uchimata with those long legs.
Entry. Yeah, but the same problem we've seen throughout the match. There's no Kazushi. There's a lot of lower body attack, but nothing upper body. They're not putting it all together. In for the Sewanage. And no attempt for Newaza on either player's part.
Well, I think it's looking like Diop will maybe pick up his third and final Shido here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's not a good sign when the referee says,
definitely.
fix your gi and step back.
Exactly. It gives you a
There we
sense
go.
of there you have it. And Han Sokimaki. Nassoni goes through to the next round. And he'll be up against Salami It'll be the winner of Alami representing Iraq in the white gi, and Cruz representing the IJF.
Right away, very different style of play from the last match, but very similar to each other. Cruz not wanting Alami to get any kind of advantage, really holding on. But Alami doing a good job of really getting his legs in, looking for that shimewaza, but he's got it across the chin, I think. Yeah. Not able to sink it in. Alami with a strong right stance. Cruz with a strong left. Coming in with a kinkayotsu grip. And Cruz for the Wazari. Alami trying to convert it. Alami just holding him out, not letting him come in, but not trying to do anything with that position. Just waiting till the referee says, okay, stand up. So, oh, nice. Oh, Kuriashi Harai. Just missing
nice
the pawn.
For women under 48 kilos, Tatami 2.
Well,
Actually, maybe that was more Kosorogake. It's kind of hard to tell, but he had both feet, so it was like a Okurashi Harai action with a Kosorogake engagement.
Yeah, I think what was happening was a Kosoto engagement, but then as the reaction of his opponent allowed him to sweep rather than hooking in at the back. So there was in exchange, obviously, a little bit of a clash there. So he's seeking slight medical attention. I don't think it's serious, but she was there.
Yeah, definitely more Kosorogake,
Yes.
And just barely turning into it enough to keep it from being the pawn.
Yeah. What was the winning ingredient was that high collar grip, controlling that shoulder quite nicely.
Referee maintaining his focus.
And there's a very serious coach indeed.
They're all very serious. It's much easier to sit in this chair.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Got the best seat in the house, haven't we, really?
Yeah, really.
Well, if you've just joined us, welcome to Baku for the Senior World Judo Championships 2018. I'm Loretta Cusack-Doyle, and co-commentator with me is Jean Shin. And you can flip through the different, we have 3 tatamis. We're covering tatami 1. But on tatami 2, you have Sheldon Franco Rook. And on tatami 3, you have the voice of judo, as they would say, the Jigoro Kana of voices, and that's Neil Adams. And he's with the beautiful Esther Stam, a former international player who's just joined our team. So to your own delight, you can switch through and listen to our commentary and enjoy what has been so far up until now some fantastic judo and some real excitement here today. The 2 weight categories we are covering today is the under 48s for the ladies and for the men under 60s. So I think we've got Cruz coming back now onto the field to play. He's got a slight bandage over on his right eye. So
Alami coming back.
Oh yeah, it was Alami. Drop there.
And he had a nice rest.
Well, he was focused there, wasn't he? It's always very difficult for the athlete that stays on the tatami.
Oh, why is he
because they
stopping
are
him?
exposed,
Oh,
aren't they?
Yeah. That particular choke has become very, very popular.
Oh, yeah. But the amount of times it's the attempt of executing it, there's not always been the success. There's like 50-50
But once you have
success.
it, it's
but,
inescapable. It's, you know,
oh gosh, yeah.
it's so punishing.
If you can execute it correctly, then yes, there's no getting out of it. But there's been quite a few attempts of it so far that's been nowhere near the mark.
But, you know, despite all that, the thing is, the reason it's called jigokujime is, you know, hell strangle. It's a very punishing choke. However, very few people are actually put out by it. It's just so painful. It's so uncomfortable, you know, and you're going to go out eventually, but it's a slow choke. So it takes a while.
Oh, yes. However many fingers you have inside to stop it, you're only choking yourself with the hands being in there as executing it.
Okay, 2 shidos for Cruz in addition to his wazari, which means that he cannot sit on that wazari now. And Alami certainly not allowing him to. He's coming in for a sort of a lethargic sewanage.
Yeah.
Oh, Cruz in for... Is he going to get it? Is he going to get the...
Well, he had it's going to be reversed on him.
That
it
was
looks
so
like
close.
it's going to be reversed.
No, I don't think so.
But Mate called, but I thought for one moment
that
there,
was close.
It would have been reversed there.
It could have been. It was, yeah, but Cruz kept it out.
He did well there.
That was exciting.
It was a little bit of a scary moment there, though, for Cruz. I
1
think.
minute, 4 seconds. Cruz with a over the back. Uchimata.
Uchimata left himself a little bit vulnerable
but he just
there.
got countered. Will he get yes?
Yep, so this evens it up now.
Oh,
and the Osakomi. But
that's
I don't
Osaikomi, really?
No, I don't think
How can
so.
that be Osaikomi?
Yeah, foot underneath. No, I'm not quite sure about that one.
Okay.
Anticipated that too early, I think.
Yeah, I think ref got a little excited. All right. Wazari to Wazari.
Well,
He's telling
this
the
has
coach.
changed the dynamics quite considerably now.
Yeah.
But Cruz, as you can see, has still got the 2 shidos, so he cannot afford to sort of fall back on his laurels and think that this is all over. He makes a silly error from now on. That's it.
He's no longer got the
contest
Wazari
away.
advantage, so he's got to score. He's got to score.
He's got to stay engaged. He's got that cross grip. He's not really doing what he should say on the package, and that's get involved. The cross grip,
wait.
and he never did it.
Wait.
Yeah.
Was it a cross grip?
I think it was, yeah. He had the sleeve and he had the lapel at the
on the same side?
and the same side.
I'd like to see the video on that again.
He waited far too long. I was surprised that was the approach that he took, considering in the position he was in.
I'm not sure it was a cross grip, the same side grip.
Right, well, I'm hoping we'll get a replay of that, because I was convinced he had just on the elbow and the lapel.
See, I thought he had the opposite side.
No, it looked for me cross gripping. Definitely.
But, you know, so that's a good call. I mean, you know, if it was, then you're supposed to attack right away. And if you don't, you should get a Shido.
Exactly.
However, it's interesting how that's not always called quite so rigorously.
Yeah.
You know, in this case, it was.
He did come down when he was approaching to that. He had the cross grip and the head went down.
Yeah.
And again, that body language and that engagement is more negative than actually engaging. So now we come back into the ladies under 48 kilo category.
With Munkbat from Mongolia versus Salokitinova from Uzbekistan.
Well, Munkbat, the number 1 seed, coming into this contest.
And there we see why.
Very strong approach.
And we were so appreciative of Salakitinova's first match, how she really hung in there and pulled it out at the last moment, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, she had a very big battle, didn't she, on her hands? And I think that might have taken quite a bit out of her, to be honest.
Well, she's still fighting. She's fighting very well here.
Well,
but Munkbat is a whole different proposition.
She's currently holding, up until this day, the silver medal at the last World Championships.
Oh, but Salakitinova pulls out of it.
She's very
really
powerful.
scrappy.
She's a young athlete, but feisty as it comes.
Holy moly. You're not getting that Sankaku on me.
But it's Wongbat's first match, and possibly just taking her time in this contest.
Look at the composure.
She's not getting flustered at all.
No,
She's
not
not
at all.
rushing into this.
Really good.
She's timing this well. She's got the good kumikachi. She's controlling very nicely.
There we go.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Over and done with.
There we go.
That's why she's world silver
And
medalist.
that's why we go, right? So
And the
beautiful
number
throw
one
by
seed.
Wongbat.
So she follows through now nicely into the next round.
A good fight by Sala Kitinova, but really there was not a lot she could do there. And here we are for this same side Sewanage. She actually reaches in for the same side grip as she's launching into it. Watch, she'll switch grips and then bring her over. And yeah, just beautiful. And then immediately going to a Newaza attack, a Sankaku attack. Really nice instead of looking at the referee and saying what the score was. Okay, up we have Edinari from Morocco versus Hurtado Munoz from Cuba. Hurtado Munoz in for the first solid attack, but Edinari easily stepping around it.
Well, this is the first match, I believe, for Edinari.
Yes.
So she'll be still trying to warm up in this contest.
Still, playing your first match in the second round is nothing like playing, that first.
No.
You've had a while, the day is much more mature. You've been watching other players. But you're right.
It always tends to be you know psychologically how your day's about to start by getting your first match over and done with. You know whether you're going to have a good day at the office or not.
Right.
And it all plays on that first round. And sometimes it's an advantage saying, well, I've got a buy through to the next round. It's one less to do. But then for some athletes, they need that first match.
Oh, yeah.
They
I
really
know.
do need.
Right. And fighting that first match, it always takes the edge off of all of that adrenaline you've got coursing through your system. When my father was training me, he was always saying, you've got to warm up so hard you feel like you've played your first match.
Yes.
And it
And
took
that's
me a
the
while.
fear, because when you feel terrible doing that, you always get worried if you're going to compete like that.
Right.
Warming
like-
up at the back of a house used to terrify me, because I used to always feel terrible. And then you'd be watching your other athletes and seeing they perform.
So as we saw, Hurtado Munoz is a very canny player. She came in for that Sumigaishi, but Edinari just shut it down into Yoko Tsutemiwaza.
Well, she's not secured it as well, but there was a lost opportunity there.
Really wrenches out of it. Nice exchange.
Second round.
Hurtado really is looking very strong, isn't she? There's
Very
no doubt
strong.
about it. In her first match, she was actually exceptional, wasn't she? Very.
It took a little while to get going.
It did.
But
She
then
was
she
winding
really-
up to it and ended up doing very well at the end.
Ukraine, Daria Piloti.
And Edinari just really taking it to her. I don't think Hurtado Munoz is going to catch Edinari by surprise at all. Caitlin Jarrell gave her a great match,
Yes, and
but Hurtado
beautiful.
Munoz just pulled
Caught
it
her
out.
a couple of times there, didn't she?
Yeah.
But sadly, it wasn't meant to be.
Oh,
yes.
Edinari!
The Kosota there, beautifully done. Did she get a score for it though? Well, it's not
I
like
think
they're not going to score.
Hurtado
I think the
turned.
elbow was stuck out.
the
so
elbow was
it-
stuck out, and she didn't come down on her hip really.
Tight
In for a
Toshi
deep
attempt,
Hayatoshi, but no Kuzushi, not enough.
but
Just flat.
definitely controlling down in the Niwaza, as you can see. But there, look,
we're
it
gonna-
got,
nope,
but
nope.
it's on the wrist there, so not very.
Elbow not in the right angle. Fix your pants. Quite a lot of extra string there. When I put on my gi, it's like that string is not nearly so generous for me.
I'm sure that's not the case. I'm not even going to tell you how long mine is. Well, Hurtado there is, she's looking strong.
Oh,
but
again!
She, again, left herself very open for that Kosoto as she come with the cross grip.
But even though she was open, she's able to stay pretty solid.
She's the body language. She's still very composed, isn't she? She's not flustered at all.
Nope, not at all.
Not under any pressure
you
whatsoever.
can't get to this level and get flustered. So that's just one of the things that it's marvelous to see. So you can't get to this level without being attacked like that.
No.
So being able to attack and be attacked and maintain your composure.
Very, very strong-minded out there.
Yes.
She's very powerful in the strike.
Oh,
yes.
Big Tayatoshi. But Edenori cartwheels out on her head. Very dangerous, actually. You don't want to hurt your neck. But she gets the Wazari. I would love to see a replay of that.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was flat on her front.
Sienna again.
And
yes,
for a
Ippon.
second, that's a clean Wazari.
Definitely Ippon.
Yeah, Ippon rolling to your back, yeah. And Edenari clearly disappointed.
Yeah. Again,
okay, another
good,
strong match.
Good performance there for the Cuban, and looking quite solid out there, in fact, as a real contender.
Well, she's going to have to bring it to her next match because she'll be facing
She's going to be up against Mokbat, which is the number 1 seed coming into this competition. So that's going to be the real challenge now for her.
Okay, up next we've got Chernovicki from Hungary versus Giliazova from Russia. It'll be the first time we've seen one of these young ladies. In for that.
Lovely attack.
Really lovely.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was on her side.
It was a Wazari. There was a spin. She landed on
But it's so
the
brief,
side.
right? And then this one was just clear.
That was no doubt about it in my mind.
The great Kiai by Hurtado. Chernovicki from Hungary in white. Giliazova from Russia in blue. Giliazova? Giliazova.
Giliazova. Chernovicki from Hungary, silver medal this year in the Grand Slam in Dusseldorf, and silver medal in the Continental Championships, European Championships. Very strong contender here for a medal. And Giliazova, again, no.
We're going to get a penalty here for Chernovicki and Giliazova, both. Both players really working to try and get a positive grip, but also mounting very, very powerful defenses against allowing a grip.
They're both, as you can see, with that lapel and a sleeve grip on the exchange of opposite sides there.
They clearly have a very healthy respect for the other player's attack. Ooh. Chernovicki, I think, trying to come in for that Kouchi.
Chernovicki, as you can see, she's trying to throw that right hand high over onto the collar.
A second Shido for Giliazova. 2:28 left.
Yeah, she's looking a little bit apprehensive against her opponent, under slight pressure.
Now both taking much more positive grips.
Giliazova really is just starting to give it to her there.
Flat. Yeah.
She had an opportunity and she took it there and ruffled a few feathers off the Hungarian. There was no doubt about it.
Chernovicki getting called for that same side grip.
Yeah.
So now both players have 2 Shidos.
Surprising we've come to this halfway through a contest and 2 Shidos apiece.
Really
One
quick.
more would result in the hand sokimaki.
Yeah.
Using the feet as she was, as nicely done. Chernovicki breaking her opponent up.
Okay.
Using her feet quite nicely.
Reaching in, trying to get it. Again with the Sasai. That's her answer to Giliozova's. Oh, in for the Kosoto. Neither one willing to really allow the other to close the distance. That is some really impressive cauliflower here.
Circling motion there from the Hungarian as she tries to come through on another angle, but there
in for the Osoto!
Well, there was a lost opportunity.
Yeah, really strong. Probably the single strongest attack we've seen today.
She nearly knocked her head off her shoulders on that throw. That exchange of grips there was
that came in?
really, really aggressive.
And that's interesting considering that Giliozova was clearly the shorter player coming around and over the side like that.
Well, packs a punch, there's no doubt about it when it comes to gripping up. Giliozova using her feet now, trying to break up the balance of her opponent.
And I think she's got the momentum.
She's got a little bit of spark now into her, hasn't she?
A coach, and Giliozova taking the back, but to no real effect. Whew, both players getting a little breather.
Oh, it has been quite a very physical match indeed.
Very physical, yes.
Oh, yes.
Look at Giliozova come in.
Oh, goodness me. Giliozova, when she throws that right hand, she near enough knocks the head off the shoulders of her Hungarian opponent.
I can't throw you, I'm just going to knock you down.
Oh.
In with both hands. Okay, and Chernovicki really not liking that. Taking a deep defensive stance. Trying to come in with that overhand grip.
Well, Giliozova she's looking a little bit defensive there, and I've got a feeling that Giliozova might pick up the third and final Shido.
No, I think he's just talking to the coach. Hopefully he's just talking to the coach. You don't want to see this match end in 3 Shidos.
I've got.
Okay, good.
Oh, good. I had that fear that because there was a little bit of a defensive action there from Giliozova, that she was going to pick up that third one. Again, throws that right arm high to the collar, which draws in front.
So the coach getting a little excited. You know, remember, the coaches are not allowed to speak while the action is on. They can only coach when there's mate called. Into golden score.
Well, I must admit, I've been very impressed with this Russian Giliozova. Very aggressive approach to a match. The kumikata, well, you can't fault it.
That's right.
When she connects, my goodness, you know it.
This is the match we wanted to see against Nagayama earlier.
So the attempt there.
On the men's side. You know, so that's a strong attack by Chernovicki, but I agree with you. Giliozova's just it's been Giliozova's match so far.
She's had much more of an aggressive approach to it, hasn't she? She's really gone for it every time.
Very assertive.
She's bringing a lot
positive.
of excitement into this match.
Really taking it to her. Now she could just finish. I mean, you've got this really great entry. And clearly you've got Chernovicki.
Chernovicki is looking a little bit apprehensive, isn't she?
We talked about composure,
that right hand. She's very cagey now with that arm coming over the top. As you can see, she's overreaching herself, trying to get.
And again, I think he's going to tell the coach to leave.
Yep. And that's not a good sign, really, because you know that the coach is getting anxious. He's really finding it very stressful.
Right. And here we have Giliozova still driving. Chernovicki now really trying to answer. And we haven't even seen a throw yet.
No, there's no throw. There's a battle.
This is the match of the kumikata.
I think if you put a pair of boxing gloves on, you'd see a different sport. But
please don't penalize them. They're really coming in.
Problem is, there's one
really
throw in the attacks. The other one seems to be defending, and very little. I mean, the kumikata's there,
not
but
finishing.
There's not following through. There's
That's true. But they are coming in. Let them finish. I want to see a finish.
Well,
but I think we're going to see.
I'm really not sure with this weight. Oh, well, sad to see it go that way. I must admit, I'm sad to see it go that way. But she had an aggressive approach and
But she
attack,
was-
but she didn't follow it through with an attack. It was just upper body, was the gripping. And we know you have to grip and you have to engage.
But I think if
But
we were
she
to
really
count
wasn't
who had more
engaged.
attacks throughout that match, it would have been Giliazova.
Do you think?
Yes. Who had more assertive actual attacks?
Yeah.
It would have been Giliazova.
I must admit, both there was a style there that you would have been very impressed with Giliazova in her approach to this contest, and I'm quite sad that it went to that last. I would have
Yes.
liked to have seen it gone with a score.
Yes.
It deserved to get that time to see the throw in, because I think it would have been just a matter of time. Well, we have Judo here from Belgium in the white, and up against what we've seen, the feisty little pocket rocket from Portugal, Costa, who has had already a great innings in her first match.
And here we don't have a huge height difference.
No, two little pocket rockets.
Costa had that great match against Ungureno.
Oh, that was a really good match,
Ungureno.
wasn't it? It was
Yes.
very entertaining, no doubt about it. And a really good win for Costa. Excellent win for
Let's
her.
see if she's able to do it here. So, deep Sewanage, but from the side, no real entry, no real threat to Jura at all. She's going to have to do better than that if she's going to throw. And if she doesn't do better than that, she might get called for false attack.
Well, this is Jura's first match, so she'll be coming out slightly cold, but there you have a Cianagi
Much
attempt.
better, yeah, and a much more
Morotti
solid
Cianagi,
one.
that was
little
a
bit of
good
coaching.
entry.
I think Jura is the stronger, has just got the stronger position. You know,
A little bit more upright and
Yeah, more upright.
braces herself into those very powerful legs
she's
there.
clearly
sort
not
of-
discommoded by these attacks. I think Costa's attacks feel a little desperate to me. Or they have that tinge, you know, that they didn't have in that first match.
She's lost a little bit of a spark, hasn't she? When she came out in her first round, my goodness, she just came out and firing on all cylinders. Now I think she's
So
lost a
that's an
few spark
element
clubs here.
of not having a match first round that we haven't really touched on is, you know, you have to wait, but your opponent's could have been through the ringer and has a fatigue element that
Exactly,
they're
and Costa
battling
was
that you don't.
challenged. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about
Oh, yeah.
it. She really had to battle against the Romanian in the first round.
despite the fact that these are superbly conditioned athletes, you know, at the top of their form. You know, this is an extremely draining.
That nervous energy as well, the psychological edge
Yeah.
to it all, and it all comes together. And it's really down to that person that has got the package to be psychologically strong-minded and be able to use that and channel it in a way within their judo
Right.
and and bring out the aggressive and dominant approach to a taunt contest.
So there's truly an endurance element to this. Oh, and Jura picks up the first Shido. I think that's a good call. I give it my approval. As I sit way up here.
Yes, that's it, as far away.
Oh, Costa! That's really coming in now. That's the Costa that we saw in the first match.
Well, there's a little bit of spirit coming back from her.
It was kind of an odd position to be
And
in, but
again.
there we go. That's nicer. And Jura's going, God, can't let her do that again.
It's a little bit of a frustration for Jura, isn't
Yeah,
it? She's
yeah.
sort of got a couple on her there, and it's like, oh,
Well,
didn't even
Costa's
get a
really
chance.
capitalizing on that Shido.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, Jura got penalized, so Costa's going to press her case. See if she can rattle her a bit.
She's got good grips
In again
there,
for Sewanage.
straight away off the grip. There's no messing around. She gets
No,
in
but-
without, and Jura's trying to set it up, but within that setup process, she's given away some valuable attacks.
I agree, but I think that, you know, again, I'm seeing in Jura Costa's attacks there. That's more about stopping Jura than it is about throwing Jura. See, that's just not going to throw Jura. That's not going to throw, it's definitely keeping her from attacking, though.
Oh, definitely, and it's moving her. It's
There we
breaking
go.
the kazushi there, so it's counting every time. And the more that she does that, after a
Judo's
while,
got-
the
right.
pressure is going to start coming on. And there's Jura now with the second. You
Second
can't
Shido,
get any more
right.
pressure now than Jura's in right now. She's got to get her grip. She's got to put that big throw in. She's capable of throwing big. She's got some beautiful judo, but she's got to be more aggressive and take control now. She's allowed Costa to maneuver this match and to control it to some point.
Costa picks up the first Shido, I imagine, for a false attack. I didn't quite see the gesture.
Oof.
But
So Costa's just looking really busy out there all
very
the time.
busy, sort of.
Sutemiwaza from a drop Seanagi to a Temiwaza. It's just.
But they have to be genuine attacks. You can't just come in and be
but-
flailing about.
I know, but at the end of the day, what she's doing though is as she getting the kazushi, she's getting the bread. They're not the nicest of techniques, and you'd have to sort of think what attack she putting in. But she's getting her opponent broken up.
So this is a kind of judo that I find kind of frustrating.
Yes.
It's tactical, playing
It's a tactical
it's
game
playing the
now.
rules rather than playing the game.
Exactly. You're totally right on that. This is down to which, do you know what? If you are not the better technician than to play it tactically, then good luck to her.
But
It's
if
not
she
the
gets,
best of watching,
if she wins
but-
this and she gets through to play either Hurtado or Mokbat, or Chernovitsky.
No, there's a long way to go. There's definitely,
There's a long way
but
to
that's
go.
the case for both of these athletes. The way they're both performing, to go up against the number one seed, they would both be challenged. Whoever goes through.
Right.
One thing with Costa, she's given it 110% heart and soul. She's giving what she's got.
Certainly,
it might not be what we want to see, and it
I
might
think the
not
word
be the
used is perfect.
best.
She's very busy.
Yes.
It's a very, very busy judo.
I'm exhausted just watching her. That's why I call her the pocket rocket.
Not particularly decisive judo. I would like to see. Okay, I'd love to see either one of them get it. Oh, okay. Come on. Get all the way in there. Judo is clearly getting worn down.
Yeah, she's trying to draw her now down into the Niwaza there, as you could see.
Costa's locking that hand out. Okay,
Well,
that was not.
It wasn't a nice
No,
approach to
not at
that,
all.
and that was a very defensive ploy to stop her opponent from doing anything.
Okay.
But Jura seems to be
No
playing
Shido.
into her. She's playing into her hands. She's really got to tactically. She's got to change, and she really doesn't seem to have much solution to what's happening to her.
She doesn't have an answer. She's not being thrown, but she's not able to unlock this puzzle.
So a minute and a half into golden score, we've got 2 Shidos for Jura to 1 of Costa. No scorers yet. Neither one of them have looked anywhere close of scoring, to be honest.
No.
So I think it's really down to can Costa keep going this
Can she draw
tactical
the third Shido?
contest that she's played right from the beginning, to be honest.
I'm sure that coach is thinking,
And I think
but that's all she's got. I mean, Jura has got to throw or pin. But she drew the penalty. So
and Jura, as you can see, desperately upset with that. Costa takes the win from the 3 penalties accumulated from Jura.
she'll be up against Chernovitsky from Hungary in her next match. But now we've got Tanaki Funa from Japan.
And Rishoni.
First time we'll have seen her today versus Rishoni, Shira Rishoni from Israel, which was that really, really amazing match we saw in the first round between Rishoni and Cherniak.
Another athlete that has a very aggressive approach and style to a judo is Rishoni, and here we have a purist of judo, the stylish
She's like
entrance
a
of
pugilist
Tanaki.
coming out.
So there you have that bounce, that aggressive, here I come, but what I'm going to do, I don't really know. And there you've got Tanaki going, let me just get hold of her.
Tanaki Funa, the current world champion. Oh, really nice combination there. But no, but Rishoni's able to turn out of it. Tanaki working for the conversion. Really got that tight waist. You can see how she's reached around with her right hand.
She's wrapping
got
that
the skirt
over.
of the gi. Really working to elevate and turn, but
well, she's still
Can't pull her
working on
hand.
it, looking
Yeah.
to try and control that
but
head.
Rishoni able to hold it out.
Well, that was a lot of pressure on those hands as she was trying to rotate her opponent. Rishoni wasn't making it easy for her.
And as we've seen, Rishoni is no stranger to pressure. She really stood up under it versus Cherniak. But Tanaki's applying a very different kind of pressure, I think. Whereas Cherniak was coming in with a lot of just physical power and presence. Tanaki's technical approach is going to be very different.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. She's up against a purist of technique and a variety of skills that she can bring in at any stage. And that's a real threat because you're not battling against power or condition. You're actually battling against someone who can actually throw.
So that's a wonderful thing to see in this tournament is you get to see this range of styles and range of plays and what kinds of pressure different players are going to bring to bear and how they're going to bring to bear and how they're going to face up under that under different circumstances.
Rishoni has got to be very careful in this match because what we have is the Japanese in general, they're very, very good with their ashiwazas. Their feet work like another set of hands. So Rishoni cannot afford to bounce too much.
Rishoni coming in, trying to do Sutemiwaza, but Tanaki easily shutting it down. Tanaki's looking for that strong left-hand grip.
Well, Rishoni, as you can see, is this circling motion around her opponent, trying to come in with the cross grip around the back, drawing Tanaki's left arm in. Tanaki, her front approach, following through. Oh, yes! Kosoto there, beautifully
almost.
executed.
But Rishoni,
scoring a
and got the
Wazari.
Wazari. I thought Rishoni had just turned out of it.
Oh no, it's a good Wazari. Now I think this could be all over very quickly now because what we're going to have to see is Rishoni opening herself up and coming in to try and come back with the Wazari.
And of course that plays right into a technician's
right into the
hands.
Tanaki's hands.
Right.
Very good posture there, Tanaki, as she circles around, rotating around the side of her opponent.
And so that's something particularly you see in the Japanese. It's not just beautiful posture, but you know how she's got a strong left-hand stance, but her shoulders are still square, so that she has the best of both lower body stability and upper body angle of attack.
Rishoni with the height there, she's got the belt grip there. She's tried to step across there, but Tanaki coming through first with the Tayatoshi.
Yeah.
She's looking for that Kosoto, but I think she's also looking for the combination of the Kosoto to sip through for what could be the Seanagi or the Tayatoshi.
And you see how Rishoni's upper body is turned. See how her shoulder is leading?
She's leaving herself a little bit light and open, isn't she?
Oh!
Well,
deep Kosoto.
Well, she just picked her off there, didn't she?
Yeah, but Rishoni
really
just
reached in deep.
Twisting out of it. And Tanaki again applying this very powerful turning conversion pressure, but being stopped in the middle of a turn. All right. In deep with that, as you were saying, the Japanese have a just beautiful tradition of using a very low, quick ashiwaza, particularly at the lower weights, but you know, it's like a second set of hands. But Rishoni is giving a really strong match here. What did I just say?
Hey, she is. She's come over and stepped across there. Well, you've got
very
to
brave.
give 10 out of 10 for a gutsy performance
gutsy play. This is the match you want to see against. You're going up against the current world champion. You go in with all of your guns.
Oh, she gave it her all.
Oh, she did.
Absolutely gave it her all.
That's the match you want to do.
And you can just see how in body language she is absolutely devastated. She came out to win that.
She came out to win. You can't fault her for anything there. But Tanaki just had that beautiful throw.
Outclassed.
Outclassed. So, Tanaki.
In blue from the Netherlands, Roy Almeida. And white from Afghanistan, Alikozai Zergai.
Up next we have Perifan from Argentina versus Kang Yoo-jung from the Republic of Korea. Oh, and there we see that beautiful close-up.
And I think we might get to see that last exchange. Oh.
Yeah, Rishoni just turning out of it.
Yeah.
Avoiding the ippon. Let's see how rapt our crowd is. Just completely absorbed in the action.
Oh, look at him, this.
Mesmerized. Okay.
Transfixed.
And we have Kang in blue. This is Perifan.
Perifan there of Argentina and Kang of Korea. So this is in the second round of the 48 kilos.
Kang with a beautiful upright
in Pool B.
Right hand posture. Perifan really struggling with that a bit. Coming in with Uchimata, but just not able to get anything going there. No upper hand. So her leg was so deep, but upper body was just not there. And she knows that if she gives Kang the least opening, so she's coming in with an attack that isn't quite complete. Lucky she didn't get countered. Kang in for her first big second.
She's just not getting in deep enough, is she? She's just cupping one hand in and she's just throwing her body.
I think she's testing. She's testing the distance at this point. She's trying to see what Perifan's reactions are like. Now she's got both hands.
Perifan's got that head-to-head clash there.
Look at that. There we go. Kochi.
It just looks like for Kang it's a bit of a warming up process. She's just...
Kang getting...
I don't understand that, but...
Our cameras are giving us good shots of the coaches, which is always nice, but...
nice
Kang,
exchange there. Perifan
in real danger of getting the Jujikatame. Will she get it? She's just really rotated enough. Very, very good. Very good defense.
That was close.
That was very close.
Very, very close indeed. And just shows then...
Yeah. So we're getting great shots of the coaches, but, just at a moment when we need to see what the referee's doing.
Kang there.
So Kang has the Wazari.
Wazari there, but Perifan, as you can see, she obviously loves the Niwaza, and once again she's exchanging down there. Getting
a Sankaku entry.
Putting a bit of pressure on Kang.
Not able to really finish it. Ooh.
The Argentinian trying to build. That's the second.
Okay, Kang cannot afford any more mistakes.
It was a very poor drop there for Perifan. That really didn't...
Oh, Tomonage! Nice indeed.
Hey. Well, that one was very close indeed. But it was one that Kang really needed. She's under a bit of pressure with the two Shidos, even though she's a Wazari up. Really now has to stay fully engaged and cannot afford to make any mistakes. And she's still got a minute and a half to go.
Yeah, a minute and a half to go. And that first Shido is so mysterious.
I wasn't quite sure. Yeah.
Maybe she tried to escape with the head, something like that.
There's obviously something we missed there, but...
So she's got to stay positive. She's got to keep coming in. Perifan clearly doesn't have an attack that's really going to threaten her. Kang has got to finish. Kang has got to finish positively.
Kang's got the good finishing touches to the attacks, where Parafan's just looking busy, isn't she? She's putting in a lot of attacks. She's wasting up a lot of valuable energy, and she's really not making any impact on her opponent at all.
They're sincere attacks, but they're not serious.
Yeah.
No, they're not serious threats. One minute to go. Kang still ahead by Wazari. In for Sewanage, but Parafan swinging around the wrong side. Kang leaving her hips out a bit, not quite getting into the right position. Again, so answering Sewanage, two answering Sewanages by Parafan, but just nothing like the seriousness or depth that Kang has.
Well, we're coming into the last half a minute remaining in this contest. Kang still with the lead of a Wazari, but just floating around there with the danger of two Shidos as well. So
Kang coming in deeply and trying to change directions, but Parafan's got that number now. She's not, if Kang can switch directions, okay, and then she does. Kataguruma variant.
Full credit for Parafan. She's really put everything into this last minute or so from the contest, but
in for Tomonage. Okay, Kang stayed in it.
She just didn't have a major throw, really, did she? She was putting a lot of energy in. Parafan, right. She put so much work in there, but really wasn't getting anything out of it.
No traction.
There was no real threat for Kang. I think even though Shidos, I think Kang really put herself in that position rather than being drawn into that through her opponent.
Right.
So, but a good win, a very interesting match, which takes Kang through to the third round of the under 48 kilos. And she'll be against Tanaki, which she will be really under a lot of pressure there.
Yeah. Up next, Nikolic from Serbia versus Figueroa from Spain. And there we see Kang's. That was a nice switch from Sewanage to Bakikomi. And so that was interesting in that, so we were also involved with this Jujigatame attack. We kind of overlooked that initial throw. Nikolic in white from Serbia versus Figueroa from Spain. This will be Nikolic's first match of the tournament.
Yes, and a real contender for a medal here at this World Championships based on her performance throughout the year.
It's interesting how there seem to be two main physical types in this weight class, just in terms of height. All of the tall players, of course it's hard to tell unless they're standing next to each other, but they all seem to be about the same tallness. And the pocket rockets are all the same.
I know, literally. You've got some very tall, long-limbed athletes like Nikolic. And this young lady will be wanting to go at least one better than she did in the last World Championship. She was 5th place last time, just missed out on a bronze medal. So she'll be coming into this competition knowing how close she was, but yet so far being on that podium. And that will be driving her forward. And her performances throughout the year have been very, very solid. Abu Dhabi, she's in Grand Slam medals. Even in Baku last year in the Grand Slam, she was silver medalist. So she's obviously very comfortable in this country and performing.
Okay, not a very convincing attack, but sort of just Figueroa just sort of folded under, but then allowed to pass. But Figueroa picking up the Shido.
Figueroa there with one Shido now, and sort of trails a little bit, changing the dynamics slightly in this contest. She really can't afford to get another one, because then she really is under a lot of pressure.
I think that's what's happened in the first match, though, too.
Yes, she seemed to pick up these ones very quickly.
Yeah, Centurk.
And when you think there's 2.5 minutes remaining and already you've started the picking up and accumulating the shidos, it's not a good start. Nikolic is slightly taller and has that height advantage and uses it well when she throws the arm over the top, draws her opponent down into the Newaza, and there she's on the attack every time.
Yeah, but that was an interesting attack in Newaza. It's like she couldn't decide to attack the upper body or the lower body.
Too many
she sort
options
of hooked it
there.
all up.
Yeah, the leg got hooked in those long legs, those long limbs. It's like, where do I put these limbs? I've got to find a space to wrap them up. But the Tayatoshi there again. That's a very interesting move. She slips the arm through the belt, winds it up. I would have thought quite dangerous to hurt your wrist.
Yeah, so that's similar to the kind of approach Tanaki was using, a different application, but
very effective.
She gets this. Okay, she does get the turn. Almost.
Good.
But Nikolic is just too long.
For Figueroa, it was a very interesting grip. But you see, she's all tucked up. She can't get out. Right. Once she's in, it's all or nothing.
You are in.
You're actually coming home with me, and that goes on.
So something that's interesting about these matches between these taller players and these shorter players is that the shorter players have come out on top each time. Oh, Uchimata against a taller player. That's gutsy. Chernovitsky against... Oh no, Chernovitsky did come out over Gilyazova. But Rishoni versus Cherniak.
A Sodi attempt there, follows through down into the Newaza once more. Good attack.
1 minute. No score.
A lot more life there in Nikolic yet. She's bouncing away, trying to sort of create a little bit of an opening there. Steps across with a Tayatoshi.
Yeah, but that didn't...
No upper body control, no Kazushi at all.
You know, really quick, very deep, but no Kazushi. So Figueroa wasn't,
she wasn't under much pressure.
Unbalanced
there,
at all.
she,
Look, she's doing the winding again, but she let go of it this time.
This time she catches
really
the leg.
wants to turn her.
She's very comfortable down there in the Newaza, isn't she? She really knows what she's wanting.
Player. It's not like Nikolic has been any slouch on the bottom either.
No, that's it. They're both competent Newaza players, but she's very gutsy.
Yeah,
Figueroa's a gutsy
coming in.
fighter.
Look at that, really pressuring. Putting Nikolic in the corner. It's not a good place to be. Looks like she got kicked there a little bit.
Nikolic, I think, at this moment has just played it safe all the way through, where Figueroa has tested the water slightly, and she's actually been a bit more gutsier in attempting things that you would think, like Uchimata, would you have done that? But she did.
But she did. It was there, and she took it. And she's trying these Ashiwaza.
Yeah, there was the Ouchigari.
Golden score.
Well, so far Figueroa is the one that's impressed me throughout this contest.
Yeah.
Nikolic, I think, has just played safe all the way through. She's
see that kind of
she's
thing.
not come out of her comfort zone at all.
No. She's getting, the instant they get any kind of positive grip, she's just diving into this sort of throwaway attack. There's a more positive action.
The Ouchigari there.
Nikolic coming in for Kosoto, but Figueroa immediately answering with sort of an Uchimata or Ouchigari.
It was the Ouchigari. Figueroa, she's waiting. Figueroa is waiting for Nikolic to come over with that right arm over deep, which brings that leg closer to her, so she's not having to overstretch herself with the Ouchigari. Right. And she's waiting for it. Nikolic will be starting to get in a little bit more pressure. You can see the bounce there from Nikolic. She really knows that she's not done a lot so far.
But Figueroa is really set. If she can get a really good setup, but Nikolic just isn't giving the opportunity.
No, there's a Tayatoshi
she knows. There. Nikolic knows that if Figueroa gets the chance, she's going to throw her.
Yep.
Because Figueroa is just set. Look at that.
And her body language, she's actually backpedaling every time.
Look at that. See? And so Nikolic is just doing these throwaway.
That's a Shido
gotta
there
be a
for me.
Shido.
That's got to be a Shido.
According to us.
Yes. And what do we know?
What do we know? Nope, no Shido.
No
1
Shido.
minute into golden score.
Oh!
Now
Well,
that was a serious threat.
Yeah.
Okay, and there she's doing the winding again.
It's very interesting. She uses it as a very powerful lever, isn't it?
But it's okay, and it turns her.
And she's
Now,
doing well.
Is she going to get it though? Is she going to
She's
get
got to control that head. That's the
Nikolic is
most important thing.
on the defensive?
But a nice little bit of Niwaza. Again, very much in control.
Nikolic has given up her Newaza attacks. We haven't seen one since that initial attack where she was kind of, divided in her approach. Okay, Figueroa pressing, continuing to press.
Her body posture started
Look
to
at that.
slump slightly.
Yeah.
Well, that was a little bit of like a Makakomi on the wrist.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And it's of course it's illegal to throw somebody with an armbar, try to take them down. So she's really taking a risk there. Oh!
Drives through, looks for the Kosoto, overstretched herself slightly.
Oh!
Again, another gutsy move from Figueroa.
And finally, we see this entry by Nikolic, but just not going to pry Figueroa over at all.
So a real battle for 6 minutes now has gone on through here. 2 minutes in the golden score, and neither one of them look any closer of getting over the line to the third round.
And the tolerance for Nikolic's attacks, like that one, okay,
Ooh,
come on.
no.
It's not off-balancing Figueroa.
No.
It's so far from the outside. There's no chance that she's going to throw. Figueroa in for...
She's right in there straight away.
Look at that.
She's not let up at all. Another Ochigari.
If she could just change directions. It's all been forward. If she changes directions, she might have a real chance.
She's got that grip again. Right through. And she knows now, Nikolic is starting to get tired. She turns her over.
And again, the same pattern.
She holds the leg. It's lack of control on the head.
She's just going completely into defense. Nikolic is not taking the opportunity to go offensive at all there. Shaking it off. Okay, let's go again. Almost 3 minutes into golden score.
And then Figueroa takes
picked up a
second
Shido. For what?
I just don't believe that. I really don't.
She was the one attacking in that exchange. She just attacked. I wonder what the Shido was for.
Possibly in the Tachiwaza, those Toshis that classed it as an attack after an attack.
But she was driving the attack in that one.
Well, Figueroa, she has tried everything and she still is coming short.
She's got to change directions.
That score. But for me, she's gutsy enough to just go for it. I don't think she's the type of athlete that wants to go out on a hand sokimaki.
No.
I think it's an all or nothing for her situation
okay, she's
now.
got both hands.
There's one attack, and it does break the balance that time. But now you just want Figueroa to just explode out there, to just give it all or nothing situation.
Yep, there's nothing left. Come on, okay.
She's got the grip. She now has to be gutsy enough. There's a drop, very poor drop.
Again into a drop.
Yeah.
This is where, endurance is really coming in. Not just physical endurance.
Now, for Nikolic, it's given her a lot more confidence, hasn't it? It's given her a boost of life here.
Yeah.
Tactically, she knows one more, and her opponent will be hand sokimaki. So this is a tactical ploy. She's starting to look so much busier. So Nikolic is, but she's still 1-2.
Yep.
Oh,
okay, got the turn
now
this
she's
time.
got the head. She's it was so close once more.
So it was so close to getting a. Nikolic had a chance there to get Osaikomi. Why did they stop?
Should be counting the Niwaza because the Niwaza is so productive down there. It is working every time. That's the same. That's actually better than any of the Tachiwaza attacks they're doing.
Yeah.
the Niwaza is so positive
Right.
and it's so engaging.
It is positive. Oh, second Judo for Nikolic. Now
So-
it's anybody's game.
right.
4:15 into golden score.
8 minutes, 8.5
Oh.
minutes they've been battling away. And he just
Oh, Figueroa.
figured out she goes
Changing
with the
it.
Kosoto, but she's leaving it for the Ochimata. Oh. Some part of me drives the Spaniard forward to get into that third round. For me, on paper, she just really deserves
There's
it.
too much tension here.
But the tension is killing us.
Figueroa, Nikolic coming
Nikolic
around
comes
with this.
Tired
Oh,
Toshi, but again, very low.
very low,
You know-
very, very outside. Oh, but the referee said go.
I don't want it to go down to
No,
a
I
hat
don't
loss,
either.
Shido. I really want to throw to a
Come on,
peer
Figueroa's
somewhere.
got to have a good attack. Come on, get it, get it, get it. But Nikolic coming down again into one of these dropping, rolling kind of things.
Now she's actually got the belt once more. She's going to
gonna
go
try it.
for
Nope.
it, but she
Good
just
stop.
doesn't have it.
Up, girls.
5 minutes out there, golden score.
9 minutes of
9 minutes
play.
in total. But
Not
ju-
including stoppage.
But it's been
Edberg, OG.
high collar.
Yeah.
First time she's changed
And
the
then
grip.
Nikolic dropping. Nikolic dropped out of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I am being way too partial here.
But again, it just shows you the gutsiness of the
Yeah.
Spaniard as she comes high-collared again.
High-collar.
Once more, she's changed tactics.
Oh,
Yes!
rolled
She's
her!
got it!
And she gets the Wazari. All right, all right.
Fantastic.
Nice counter.
Absolutely
Beautiful, beautiful.
fantastic. The Kosota was there, and
Oh.
boom, she got it.
Nikolic coming in for the attack, and Figueroa finally being able to figuring out how to convert it. Wow,
9.5 minutes
that was a
almost.
marathon.
And Figueroa, the pocket rocket,
Figueroa.
does it. Fantastic.
She's gonna go lie down now.
Oh gosh, need a cup of tea. But there was the tactics. There was where she changed and turned that match around. The high collar grip. She put the pressure on. She drew the head down. She then allowed the head to come back up. As it
And
came
then
up,
she rolled her.
boom, Kosota
Nice.
was there.
Really good.
Brilliant. I'm exhausted. Hey,
So Vargas from Chile
Vargas Lee.
versus Bata from Cameroon. First time we've seen either one of these players today. Oh,
Well, I don't know what's happening on the other mats, but oh yeah, well, you've got an Azerbaijan in the centre mat. Mat number
just
2
won by
is just
Ippon.
one, and this crowd has just erupted. I can hardly hear myself think.
I know.
So Vargas Lee of Chile is up against the Cameroon Bata in the blue.
And we've already seen a really strong Uchimata attempt by Vargas Lee.
Yeah, there was a very strong grip there, a very determined face as well. That facial expression is enough to win any match, I think, for... Oh, the Oshigari there from Bata, Cameroon. Hey, nice entry.
Nice answer to Vargas Lee's very powerful overhand grip.
Well, she literally played into that as she threw that arm over the top. The Cameroon was there hovering around waiting for that technique.
You notice Vargas Lee taking a much more deliberate approach to getting her grip this time.
But the
not gonna
Cameroon,
take-
very aggressive approach
Yeah.
in this contest.
Doing a job of staying very closed, forcing Vargas Lee to the outside. Cameroon's a little flat in her stance, though.
Once more, Vargas Lee throws that arm high over the collar. I think she's leaving herself a little bit vulnerable because the Cameroon's very dangerous. She has got some technique. She can be a little bit predictable in what she's capable of doing, but she's dangerous. I wouldn't be throwing myself over on top of her at all.
Especially since she caught you once already.
She's the arm comes around the waist.
But you can get stuck. You can get stuck in an approach you like.
Powerful, the Cameroon, though.
Oh! Both players going for a
It's a little
Koshiwaza.
bit of a 50-50 there as a stumbling down on the edge of the contest area.
Tsurugoshi versus Ko Tsurugoshi. A bit of a controversy going on over on mat 3 with Azerbaijan losing. Oh, Vargas Lay again coming in for that
Lovely
strong overhand
Uchimata.
grip.
That high collar grip this time, she got more stability on it as she hooked in with Uchimata, and that hopping action over to the sort of weakest point
But not
for
quite
Bata.
enough.
The fourth round for men under 60 kilograms. In blue for Brazil, Eric Takamataka. Anyone for Kazakhstan, Guzman Kyrgyzbayev.
Okay, both players settled into an interesting pattern here. Vargas Lee is definitely taking the initiative each time. She set the pace each time. Bata clearly waiting for Vargas Lee to come in and to take advantage of the attack. I think the first person to switch it up is going to have an interesting result. Yeah, Bata being called now because she hasn't launched an attack yet. And we're already 2.5 minutes have gone by.
Once more, that arm gets thrown over the top, the hooking in for the Uchimata, but this time the Koji gets
and
beautifully done and scoring a
gets the
Wazari.
Wazari. So she switched it up a little bit. And got the first Wazari.
Slight change and change of direction as well from the Uchimata, switch it to the rear.
Same
and
attack,
gets-
but different
Yeah.
attack. Yeah, same entry, different attack.
Here we have that high collar grip.
Right, but then coming through the other side.
This
and
time she
rolling
got
her
a
through.
little bit deeper, which meant
Yeah.
that she was controlling that shoulder slightly more to be able to change direction. So, yeah, anticipated that well.
So Bata now under the gun with a Shido and down a Wazari. Really got to pick it up. Ooh, turning your back. on your opponent.
Okay, just
Benjamin is not
look
a good
behind
idea.
you. Vargas Lee, as you can see, once more trying to throw that arm deep over, but this time Bata waiting for it, comes through with the hip throw.
And now really aggressively going after the Newaza because she knows she can. The more she attacks here, the less time there's going to be on the feet.
And we're into the last minute now with 40 seconds remaining. The Sangaku legs tie up there.
Women under 48 kilos. In blue judogi representing Israel, Noah Priske. In white judogi representing Slovenia, Marusha Štanga.
Vargas Lee again dictating the pace and the rhythm of the exchange. Bata again content to come in with that Kotsuri around the back grip.
This time she was coming in with the Uchimata, but switching it slightly for the Ouchigari as well. She tried to get a bit of a spin on it. But once more, as you can see, the Sangaku legs.
And Bata's just letting her.
She looks a little
decide
bit in
what to
deep
go and
water
where to
there,
go.
doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's very unaware of the danger at this possibility at this moment for her.
And there's okay. So Vargas Lee. Will face Figueroa in the next match, which will be a very different prospect. So, because Figueroa is not going to just going to let Vargas Lee dictate how things go.
And there's some highlights of that contest, as you can see here. The Kochigak there driving her opponent down. Kochigari ended up, but very much started as the Kochigak. She was attempting the high collar grip, controlling very nicely in a slight change of direction from the Uchimata that we saw earlier on. The winning factor of just again, just changing it.
Having some
Spicing it up a
flexibility.
little bit.
Okay, here we have
Nagayama
Nagayama versus Chikvinani from Georgia.
Daniani, they're from Georgia. So this is going to be a very tough match.
Very tough. I'm always very fascinated to watch Japan play Georgia because I think of them as being sort of at the two ends of the spectrum of judo.
Yeah. It's like the cracker and the cheese, isn't it? They do come together because they've got the expertise in both in different ways, haven't they?
Totally different approaches to judo.
Two very different styles.
Japan, of course,
very
epitomizes the
successful.
technical, and Georgia is very physical.
They love that closeness and engagement, don't they, of the uranagis and that sort of style of judo. They're comfortable engaging very deep.
It's where they go.
With the Japanese, they like to have that space of movement and that the judo can flow and the more opportunity of combinations rather than the direct attack.
And it's such a different emphasis. It's how can I throw you with technical movement versus how can I throw you through physical, just power and speed.
Power and endurance.
Yeah.
It's
and so Nagayama is playing a very, very smart game. Not, he's doing attacks which don't allow for the kind of uranage that Georgia really loves.
I think what he's doing as well, he's slowed the pace down. Chikvinani would maybe like this to be a much more aggressive and aggressive approach.
See how he's coming in. Yeah,
So
that's exactly what he wants.
He's trying to wow this up to become a fight.
Right.
Where at the moment we've got Nagayama it's trying to treat it as a randori. He's not wanting to engage in the punch.
See how Chikvinani is like really fighting every moment of kumikata. Oh, and he's trying to show the refs, look, he's got the pistol grip and he's not attacking me. But there we go.
He does attack.
And
He's just
Nagayama has had just about every single attack
He's
so
been
far.
spot on every time he's attacked. It's been a good attack. It's been classed as a good
really
attack.
Clean. And
Chikvinani is looking
Shido,
very busy out there.
I'll believe for.
But really, by being busy, he's using up a lot of energy.
But it's all been in the kumikata. He hasn't launched a positive attack yet. So let's see if he can get it going. If he can get it close. Oh, beautiful Ashiwaza.
Beautiful Ashiwaza. Took him right off his feet. And that's the danger when you start to bounce and move, where you have one foot in front of the other or both feet up off the ground. Then the danger, Nagayama was waiting for that little bounce.
Now he's driving.
Now he's mixing it a little bit. He's come out of the randori. He's now setting it up to rattle his opponent to get...
So I think that was Chikvinani really driving in. He's like, okay, you've held me out this time. I'm going to come in close, force you to play the kind of judo I want. And Nagayama had a really good answer. Oh, but Chikvinani picks up a second.
Chikvinani now under a little bit of pressure. This will change the dynamics quite considerably for him.
He is coming in. He's just not finding that, Nagayama is just not having it. Not letting you come in.
Yeah, he's not playing the same game as him.
No. But Nagayama's got the technical skill to be able to take that kind of aggressive movement and turn it into an attack. Yes. He's going to do another one right here.
It's actually using that aggression against him.
Yeah, which
isn't it?
He's exactly
really
what judo's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice, Uchimata. There we go.
Oh, yes.
If he had the other hand, that would have been a throw. But even so.
It was dynamic.
Yeah. That's the danger of, coming in and really grabbing it.
Oh, Seoinage. Good aerial awareness from Chikvinani.
Seoinage again.
He's on the receiving end of it. My goodness me. Two
really getting
strong attacks.
Beautiful exhibition of how this kind of difference plays out. With two evenly matched physical players. Oh!
Speed
just taking
entry.
all of that energy and converting it.
Speed of entry every time.
Every time. And timing. Beautiful timing. Perfect. As you were saying, he's placing it just perfectly. He's about to get called again. Which is really too bad because he's coming in. He's really trying to come in.
He's definitely not
being
negative.
He's not being non-combative. he's just not able to get anything going because Nagayama's just taking everything he's giving it and
can't match up against Nagayama. That's the problem. He can't match up to that quality of an athlete.
So I understand this call, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think it misunderstands the dynamic of the match. So, Nagayama coming out. Beautiful exhibition. Beautiful exhibition of styles. Beautiful variety of attacks that he had. He had several different types of sewanage.
Oh, look
he
at
had
the
Uchimata.
But fair play to Chikmaniani that he really aerial awareness, been able to spin out of that.
Look
at
that
speed, to have that understanding where you are in midair.
Not get thrown.
Flying through, and not just once, but 3 times.
Several
boom,
times.
Boom, boom,
how many times were there? Yeah.
Gosh. Right,
Beautiful.
we have representing Peru. We have Cali there in the white and Preciado in the blue from Ecuador.
So, 2 South American countries.
Again, all the way to the World Championships, and 2 South Americans meet up.
Or is Ecuador Central America? Anyway, from that part of the world. Well, very exciting match.
No, there has been some really interesting matches, haven't there?
Matches.
Some very technical ones, but very tactical ones as well. And it's been
very
an absolute delight so far.
Or uninteresting. All of them have been really good. So I'd say so far this is shaping up to be a really good World Championship.
I'm actually exhausted by watching it. I mean, we've not done anything but sit on our bottoms, but I'm actually physically exhausted here.
But the excitement, the edge we're jumping out of our
chairs.
chair.
Your arm must be absolutely black and blue for the amount of times I've grabbed it. That's the thing. The atmosphere here in this stadium and the matches that we are watching are just superb. There's no doubt about it.
Down to under 3 minutes. Okay, picking up the first Shido.
Well, you would expect possibly a match to go like this, that they know each other so well, and it's a bit of a one-for-one. But Kelly, as you can see, he's got that left hand over there on the collar, right on the shoulder, controlling. He seems to want to...
coming in. Preciado really
strong grip.
Really wanting to pull that in.
He's drawing it in, and you can see the defensive there.
Oh, nice!
Oh, yes! That could,
beautiful.
At one stage, could have gone either way.
Could have gone either way, but Preciado rode it out, countered. Oh, but no, that didn't...
What? No score?
I think...
No, it's got to be, for me, it looked like a pole.
Just a Shido.
Second Shido for Kalle.
Attacked with, and Preciado took it away from him and took Kalle down to his back. Why isn't that at least a Wazari?
Oh, I don't. There's obviously something we've missed, because for me that was a good score.
We would make terrible referees, obviously.
I know. That's why we're sitting here.
I'm having more fun here anyway.
But here we are.
Being a referee is unbelievable pressure. You know, they work so hard they're constantly. It's really been amazing. One of the things I've learned coming to these events has been all of the behind-the-scenes stuff that go on with refereeing. I mean, you see them on the mat, but they are being assessed right now for possible who's going to be going and officiating 2 years from now in the Olympics.
Exactly.
So that's the kind of pressure they're under right now. Yeah. To do the best possible job they can, to be the best officials they can, and they're under an incredible microscope. So, my hats off.
Oh no, it's definitely a job that I definitely don't think I could have. The pressure I couldn't cope with. I don't think.
No.
It really is, and we have. The standard of refereeing is amazing, and we can look at it and we can give it a call after seeing it a couple of times. They have to give that call straight away, and it's like 99% of the time they're spot on, absolutely spot on. So full credit to the referees; they've worked so hard, and we're seeing the fruits of their hard work.
Right. Okay, third Judo for Kaye.
Okay. Well, it's a shame for the Kaye that's gone through now. He's out of the contest, but
Preciado was really coming in with a lot of positive attacks.
he was very good in his last match as well. He was very strong.
But see, okay, so now we're going to get to see this one.
Yeah, what happened?
So,
here?
Preciado, that's an Ippon. Why isn't that an Ippon?
So it starts off as White.
Kaye is attacking.
He was attacking.
Preciado takes it away and rides him straight down to
upper
his
body
back.
Control. He was controlling
He
it.
knew exactly what he was doing. That wasn't... Okay,
I'm
my hat's off to
surprised now.
referees, but I disagree that was not the Ippon.
It'd be interesting to see or to understand the reasoning behind that.
Yeah, I would love
one.
to hear that explanation. Because they have people reviewing it on
Yes,
video.
so it'd be nice to get that feedback to find out where they were looking at it. So here we have Mackenzie of Great Britain in white, and he's up against the People's Republic of Korea, Kim, in the blue.
Who we saw, I think this is the first time we've seen Mackenzie today.
No, we saw him earlier on. Remember, he was down 2 Shidos literally within a minute.
That's right.
And we weren't quite sure why, but then came back
And then the
kept
other
his
player got
composure.
hurt.
Then there was a caught to the throat, and then again
Right.
Ashley came out to finish it.
And Kim won against Adonis.
That's right. That was a very strong, good contest as well. So both of these had first matches that have been very positive, that will give them a lot of confidence going into this third round match.
Mackenzie definitely pressing Kim.
Over the years, just the recent year and a half, the difference in Mackenzie is unbelievable. It's been night and day. The maturity in his judo, and he's picked up some really good results that has gave him more and more confidence, he's always been a very technical boy in judo. He's from a very young age, but this is starting to come into his own now and pick up some results. There's been a real contender every time he comes out.
Well, he's definitely being pressed by Kim, though.
Kim's given him a few problems here, and he's looking a little bit apprehensive in this match. You can see with the body language, Kim was the arms, they're very erratic, aren't they? Which makes you sort of step back a little bit until you can actually catch hold of them.
And he's attacking as soon as he has a positive grip. Mackenzie's finding that, I think, a little difficult. Now, I've never trained, of course, in the People's Republic of Korea, but I've trained in Korea several times, and I can tell you that the level of training, the intensity of training that goes
the
on
intensity
is
of training
unbelievable.
It's actually frightening, isn't it, the amount of work they put in.
So I can only imagine what the Democratic People's Republic of Korea does under the kind of pressure they've got. So one thing I was noting that's going to be interesting this time, we have the mixed team event at the
I'm
end.
really looking forward to that.
And that's going to be amazing. And one of the things that's amazing about it is Korea is going to have a unified team.
That's right.
The Republic of Korea and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea will be combining into one team. That's really quite extraordinary. Gonna have to call my father and see what he thinks about that. Being from Seoul, and
yeah, it'd be quite interesting to his thoughts on that. But there's been a lot of movement, political movement, isn't there? That sort of government-wise,
it's been very interesting.
That they're starting to unite, which is actually quite refreshing.
The most
isn't
substantial has been in the realm of sport, I'd have to say. I'm not sure I see equivalent movement on other stages. But it's nice to see here.
Yes.
Okay, Kim is really, really pounding on Mackenzie.
It's making hard work for Mackenzie out here. Kim is. Oh, yes!
And there we go.
Sianagi.
And Mackenzie's going, what happened?
Well, he spun on his head, and that's what it was. He used his head to try and get out.
But that was exactly the approach that he's taking. He's coming in with this very frenetic kind of thing, and as soon as he gets his grip, in for the Seoinage. Beautiful entry. And Mackenzie's just really thrown for a loop.
Well, he'll be devastated with that. There's no doubt about it. It was a real build-up, and he was doing really well throughout the year. Sadly, he's come up against someone that's just that little bit tougher, and technically he's been on form so far. Kim has he's caused a few upsets.
Yep.
His style of performance.
So we'll see that again. Immediately in Morote Sewanage.
So used his head
he
to
did
try
turn
and
out of it, but his shoulders both are on the mat.
Yes.
Both shoulders are clearly flat on the ground, just behind the neck. See, boom, right there.
Yeah, that's
so even
it.
though his hips never hit,
The shoulders, it
his
rolled
upper back.
head and shoulders,
Yeah, head and
and then there was the spin.
Nasoni from Mozambique versus Alami. Alami from Iraq. Alami. I think Nasoni's going to find this a very different prospect from his previous match against Senegal.
Yes, I think so too.
He's clearly very wary of an attack.
Well, I think
But he's going to have to come out of that defensive posture.
I think there's a certain thing of sort of giving respect and of your opponent that's participating, but if you hesitate too much, then you lose out some very valuable opportunities. And I think you've got Alami he's obviously the height of Nasoni is putting him off slightly.
Right.
And I think really on paper he's a much stronger opponent down on paper against Alami.
Really?
He's a much stronger opponent.
On paper, okay.
Yeah, so
well, he's certainly not taking advantage of that height.
well, no, definitely not.
Oh, Wazari.
So as a Wazari, a good start, and I think it's always the danger of someone that's got such long limbs that if they're gutsy enough, they can throw him from any direction.
Right.
And those legs could be quite dangerous if he was able to connect. But he hasn't really got the judo.
No.
He doesn't use the assets he has, like the techniques of the osodogaris, the uchimatas, the big harais. He's not using those style
He's not, and
techniques.
he's not even getting into the posture where he can use them. He's getting immediately into this very deep, seated jigotai.
Lapel grip.
And it's a jigotai that's odd. I mean, he's sinking his hips far back of his heels.
He's trying to come down to his opponent's level and height.
If Alami had a low ashiwaza attack, kouchigari, ouchigari,
knock the feet.
You know, Nasoni would be in a lot of trouble.
And definitely that's the sort of Achilles heel. The weakness is to the rear for Nasoni.
See, look at
his heels and his rear end is going over the heels.
Yeah.
His weight is all to the back.
If I were Alami's coach right now, I'd be saying,
feet.
Kochi, Kochi.
Kochi, Kosota, or the combination.
Or whatever code we've worked up so I don't yell, actually, Kochi. Number 3.
Number 3. Shido's second one.
Well, he hasn't
goes
attacked
to
yet.
Nasoni, but yeah, you're right. He hasn't attacked.
2 minutes. There's an attack.
Oh my goodness!
I'm
and
not
that
sure what
was,
it was.
A drop knee, Tayatoshi.
Or Uchimata. It was like
I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
But it was an attack.
It was an attack, and he's now. There's a little bit of spark that's coming. He's come alive a little bit here, as you can see. Nasami's got that second Shido and knows, well, I'm on a hiding to nothing. I really have to give a good account of myself here on this world circuit. It's my last chance. It's my moment of fame to be out here.
Yep. And Alami continuing to come in for the Sewanage.
And he side-skipped on the edge
Shido.
and went out to the contest area.
Yeah.
So that'll be the third and final Shido that he'll get. And Alami will go through to the fourth round. We'll be up against Kim in that round.
Yep, non-combativity for Nasoni, Piton for Alami.
There you have the highlights of that contest.
That was a nice throw.
The Sienagi,
Okay, Mukbat versus Hurtado Munoz. Now, Hurtado Munoz cannot play the waiting game in this one.
Well, this will be one of the, possibly the first real challenges of throwing of that arm right over the high collar, draws her opponent down to her knees.
Cannot let Mukbat take the initiative.
Not messing around at all with this Cuban.
Nope.
Really an aggressive start, really showing who's boss out there.
But see, here's where I would say, you know, as you've mentioned several times, you know, observed about respecting your opponent. They're coming in and they're going for an aggressive grip, but they're doing it in a way which clearly respects the opponent's ability to take advantage of that kind of attack.
Yes.
So you see them both things happening here. Oh!
Could have been the arm lock.
Being assertive without being overcommitting. Dear spectators, Untitled 2 now start. Quarterfinals for women under 48 kilos.
Mukbat strong coming over, but Hurtado Munoz being very smart, immediately taking that, trying to drive it through, drive it around. But this is interesting. So Mukbat comes in with a strong attack. Hurtado Munoz tries to convert it, but it doesn't have the same kind of technical virtuosity that we saw earlier with Nagayama and Georgia. It's just enough to forestall anything, Mukbat from doing anything more, but not enough to really take it and use it.
Mukbat with the high collar grip with the Ouchigari there, stumbling her opponent down.
Yep, and
scoring
Mukbat gets the score for the counter. I'm kind of mixed about these kinds of counters. They're so, you know, I understand they're taking somebody to their back, it's under control, it's meeting criteria for a throw, but it lacks this element of impact. You know, so it's something I'm adjusting to in judo as a legitimate score, as a valid score.
Dada, because you can see quite a few times, is getting her head caught up there, and that's becoming a little bit more dangerous as she gets caught. There's been a few attacks there. One that she's already scored a Wazari with the Ouchigari. But there's a battle now going on. There's a bit more of an aggressive approach there from the Cuban.
And of course, we know that Cubanos are great fighters. They're very
yes, they've got a long history of being very aggressive fighters indeed. And
but Mukbat coming in.
Mukbat powerfully.
A variety of sumigaishi for the ippon.
That's
beautiful.
Beautifully executed.
A series of newaza attacks into a throw.
That was nice.
Sankaku to another kind of turn, and then when Hurtado stands up, immediately into sumigaishi.
It really doesn't look like she was challenged much. Look at this there. Sangaku comes up, Ouchi,
and then
Sumigaishi.
Sumigaishi.
Beautifully done. What a combination of techniques.
Made Hurtado make a mistake. Made Hurtado standing up thinking, we're in newaza now.
Yes, and that's where a few have made that mistake. That transition of coming up and then getting caught on the way out.
Really nice. So Mukbat through to the quarterfinals.
Third round for women under 48 kilos. That number 1.
Okay, we have Chernovicki from Hungary versus Costa from Portugal. Costa in blue, Chernovicki in white. Another interesting match between a very tall player. And as we saw in the last match, Costa has this strategy of coming in and really having a lot of aggressive movement, drawing the penalties from her opponents. We'll see if this prevails against Chernovitsky.
Good afternoon, Gene.
Sheldon, how are you? I was so focused on the monitor. So we're joined today. Joined now by Sheldon.
Taken Loretta's seat for the
Loretta's
moment. Yeah.
taking a little break.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Sheldon. We've had a wonderful time here on Mat 1.
Costa's done well, hasn't she, to get this far in this kind of company.
Yeah. And so we were talking about how this is going to be a real test. Is she going to pass this next hurdle?
Well, it's a tough ask, isn't it? Former Olympic bronze medalist, Chernovitsky Ava of Hungary. That's a tough one to get through. Oops, sorry. Just tumbled Jean's pen to the floor.
But let's see if Chernovitsky is able to get a really positive attack here. She just eked it out in her last match. So it's interesting how I think what we've got here are, we've been seeing we're having a great time looking at the variety of approaches to play, and here I think we've got two more tactical players versus the very technical players we've been seeing and physical players. So here we've got two more tactical players. We'll see which one.
Terrific effort there.
Costa, yes, nice entry, but not enough for the Wazari.
Pretty close.
Very close, this reverse Sewanage. That is the most concerted, best attack Costa has done all day.
2 penalties picked up by the Portuguese. Half the contest still to come, so tricky to keep a clean sheet now when you've it's difficult not to pick up the third one. We've got plenty of time left on the clock.
Costa really is having, I think, the tournament of her life at the moment. Nice coming in for Tomonage. Chernovitsky is able to stand up quite strongly out of it.
In blue judo, representing Kazakhstan, Odkosese Galbadra. In white judo, representing Ukraine, Daria Nikolzi.
1 minute, 30 seconds. Chernovitsky still trying to really come in. She has this very strong upper body attack. She hasn't been able to really launch a really solid attack. Oh, Costa again in for that Sewanage, but not able to finish it. Chernovitsky getting up the second Shido. 2 Shidos each now with just over a minute left in the match.
Doesn't take long to pick up a Shido for passivity at this kind of level. The referees are very, very sharp on you taking a bit of a breather.
And that was a really good Osoro attempt by Chernovitsky. Finally coming in. But so this match is playing out the way that we were looking at. This very tactical players drawing the penalties from their opponents. But Costa coming in with really good attacks. Much better, much more valid than they were in the last match.
Little over half a minute left to go. 2 penalties apiece. No score yet. Someone's going to go here.
Chernovitsky's got this deep grip, much deeper than she had before. Oh, but Costa just backs out of it. That's interesting. She went down to the ground. Let's see if she just kind of dropped out of that. No penalty. Costa looking for inside grip, coming in for that Sewanage, but nothing. Not really. So that's the kind of attack that we've seen before, where it's a lot of busyness. Loretta has been describing it's very busy judo, but not very decisive. There we go. That's much more. But again, no score. 2-1. We're going to be going into golden score. Oh, well, we have. I'm sorry, the referee stopped it with 1 second left in the match. Now the time is right. We're going to go into golden score. Oh no! Chernovitsky picking up the third Shido at the very last second. As Costa's attack was enough to draw the third Shido.
Well, that's quite something, isn't it? You know, right at the death to pick up that penalty. But if it's deserved, then, you know, it doesn't matter when you get it.
It doesn't matter.
If it's deserved, it's a shame not to have gone into golden score, but that was probably the right decision. Anyway, mistimed from Chernovitsky. She was probably already focusing on the golden score.
Yeah, I think so. And Costa came in with that was a really good attack. And that actually could have been Wazari there. We've seen Wazari's given for that kind of impact in other matches. So,
yeah, that was the closest one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Frank Dirch is the referee in the middle, waiting for the arrival of the current world champion, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Tanaki Funa
versus Kang
of Japan faces Kang Yu-jeong of the Republic of Korea. It'll be Tanaki in the white judogi, Kang in blue. Here is Jin Shin.
So we've seen beautiful judo from Tanaki today against Rishoni. And Kang, of course, had a great match against Parafan. It's always a great matchup between Korea and Japan.
And here we go again. Daria Biladid, by the way, of the Ukraine has just defeated Otgonsetse Galbadrak of Kazakhstan to take her place in the second of the semi-final. She'll face the current Olympic champion, Paula Pareto of Argentina.
Tanaki in with a strong Kosorogake. But Kang just turning out of it. Kang initially attacking with Sewanage, but Tanaki able to shut it down easily. And as Kang came up, Tanaki coming in with his Ashiwaza.
So Daria Biladid, just by way of information, burying the history that went along with her losing out last year's World Championships to the very same opponent.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be an exciting match. Whoever Biladid faces in the... I'm assuming she's going to get to the finals.
No, it's Pareto, the current Olympic champion.
Okay, so that's a pretty good challenge.
And Tanaki and Kang are on the opposite side, so that could be a possible final with one of these two. Anyway, this is for a place into the quarterfinal, so we're jumping ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Yes, a little bit, but that's okay.
This was the last contest on category 2
So,
in the preliminaries.
Tanaki kicking a strong left hand, Kang with a strong right, ending up in this Kinkayotsu situation. Oh, Tanaki with a deep Tayotoshi, but not able to get Kang's balance broken. Kang drawing the first Shido for non-combativity. Good call. Kang has not been able to really crack Tanaki's position, even though she's really trying to draw her in. But Tanaki coming in with these strong... Oh! Kang answering with a strong Kosoro, dropping Kosorogari, really trying to drive her through, but Tanaki just answering with her own drive.
Just that single Shido against Kang at the moment. No score as yet. We've got a little under 2 minutes to go. Slight advantage, I'd say, to Tanaki.
Yes, I agree. Both, not just in terms of penalty, but in terms of initiative. Kang has just been able to, her attacks have been just a slight bit more effective. We've settled into a real pattern here. Let's see if who's going to break it. Who's going to come in and find a way to switch direction. There we go. Kang in with the first Tomonage attack of the match. but Tanaki able to step around it. That was a real change, but Tanaki clearly showing why she's world champion, able to address it. In for Tayatoshi, but making Kong stumble, but not enough to turn her. 59 seconds left.
Again, low and left-sided. That's where the threat has been coming from.
Yep. Tanaki trying to come across on the outside, but Kong's position is just too strong. Really threatening with that Kosoto. I think she's trying to set her up. Oh, Kong in for a Sewanage. Tanaki answering. This is kind of grinding. they're settling into this Kinkayotsu position and just kind of grinding away and seeing who can make the other person crack. Their concentration, just a tiny mistake. Tanaki coming in with a little bit different. Big Sewanage. But Kong's position is just too strong. Up, stepping out maybe.
Just got to keep up the rate of attacks, Kong, I think. Doesn't want to fall behind here and pick up another penalty. Especially if you're going to go into golden score.
Yeah, and we're about to. 5 seconds. Kong, I think, wearing down a little bit. Or maybe she was just hanging on as she knew golden score was about to occur.
You know, we saw what happened with Chernovitsky thinking about golden score, but Kong wasn't in the same position.
No,
She'd only picked up a single penalty. So no score. We're into the golden score period.
Okay. Both players. Ooh, big Uchimata to Koji.
Just that little really stab at the end, didn't she, with the Koji?
Big deep Tayatoshi. Both players picking up the game a bit. Kosoto.
And on the back of the Kosoto going down, Kong looking to attack. So it wasn't all over.
Nope. So, golden score. We know that the score's going to end it. So both players know that you can't wait with players of this caliber. It's got to work out positively. Kind of an unconvincing Kataguruma, not very deep at all. Was sort of, I think, keeping Tanaki from prosecuting an attack of her own. Oh! Kong trying to take the opportunity for a big Uchimata, but Tanaki sidestepping it and just not quite able to counter. Tanaki really coming in assertively. Kong dropping Osoto. Kosoto. Okay. Kosoto Gake. So many little technical attacks going on here. Tanaki trying to draw Kong up. I think hoping to get that Uchimata.
Still just the single Shido though.
Still the
Kong's done well.
Yeah.
Been busy enough and kept in there, and she hasn't been further disadvantaged by picking up another penalty. That was a good effort. She just put her on her backside.
Kong really sitting forward with her head so that her back wasn't exposed at all. As we've seen before, Tanaki, we saw her to do this turn earlier. She really likes reaching down across the waist, getting this tight turn. Okay, if I can't throw you, I'm going to try and do this. Trying to do a little seikomi. Got it. She's almost got it. Oh, but Kong doing a brilliant job of tying up the legs. Oh, but just hanging on. Tanaki almost getting the osaikomi. Okay, coaches being both coaches doing a great job of supporting their players.
Tanaki's got the world champion in her corner. Fukumi Tomoko.
Another deep tie at
Again,
Tushi.
left-sided,
Yeah.
low. But Kang's got that nailed now, hasn't she? I
Yeah.
mean, 4, 5, 6, 7 times Tanaki's been over there.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 that were threatening. The other ones were just little stabs, and now she picks up
Second
the
Shido,
second Shido. Yeah.
which is good. That's a very... and Tanaki coming in with that Kosorogake. Kang is just... She's now in a place where she has to go. She cannot wait. She cannot stop. She's got to come after it because Tanaki's just going to get it herself. And if she doesn't, Kang is going to pick up a third penalty. Still, it's been a brilliant match. Kang coming in, but just not convincing enough. Tanaki coming in. Oh, we have a possibility for Jujigatame, but no. Kang has played a really good match, but it just hasn't proved to be sufficient against the current world champion.
Given a really good go. 3 minutes into golden score. Little Ojigari attack there.
Goal!
Almost, that was
Kang
close.
almost converting it.
And just by accident,
Yeah.
Tanaki had the knee bent.
Yeah.
You know, she could have gone over there.
Could have.
That saved her. A bad foot position actually saved her from
Yeah.
going over. Uchimata again.
Ojimata! Kang really pulling it out.
And for once, we see Tanaki almost desperate.
Yeah,
with that
really
kind of
struggling.
turn. Yeah.
It's like, okay, now we're seeing a little bit more concentration, a little bit more. Okay, you've got to come in. Just because she's got 2 Shidos doesn't mean you can stop either.
Well, this has been a good battle.
Yeah, really good.
Almost a full second contest for this pair. 15 seconds away from a second contest.
The longest one we've seen today is 9 minutes
Yoko
on this match.
Tomonagi from Kang just missed out.
Just missed out.
Yeah, Tanaki was already moving away, and it was a moving target that she wasn't able to hit.
Kang has a real chance. She could still, you know, Tanaki's just, you know, it's clearly Kang's match to go get. If Tanaki can just...
Yeah, one more left-sided effort from, and it was just as well that Kang came up with that effort, because another left-sided effort there from Tanaki, low down,
Right.
and I think they were looking to, you know, wrap things up. But
Right.
she's back into
She's
it now.
back into it.
She's one attack ahead now.
Of course, Tanaki just, of
and
course,
now-
doesn't
now-
stop.
Yeah,
Right.
But with that little effort there, things are tied up again.
Again.
But it's so close, you know, you can't afford for your opponent to go 2 attacks ahead, or else you're out.
And you can't make a mistake.
No.
Because either one of these beautiful
Gotta get
players
a
is
head
going
up
to
there.
catch you.
There's a reasonable little stab there. It
And
is
Tanaki
really
going for the
finely
turn.
balanced.
Yeah.
No, we've had no Newaza
No.
in the contest apart from this now. And Tanaki, I think, senses something happening here. She's
Oh,
not
there we
moving.
go.
Yeah.
That's it. All cycle me.
You only needed a sniff,
That's it.
and that was it.
Ah.
And there's just, you know, not sufficient power to either wrap the leg, it's, you know,
Right.
or
She's just, it's been,
there's not,
it's
not
been 10 minutes almost. There we go for the Wazari. And Kang will...
Tanaki
Spin.
Funa it is, who makes her
Funa.
way into the second of the quarterfinals. Well, a great effort there from Kang Yu Jong, to be honest.
Really
Somebody got bloodied in that contest, because if you look at the gi, I'm surprised that they've let Tanaki Funa come out with that gi. That must have happened during the contest, because she's blood spattered
Yeah.
down the left shoulder. Not sure how that happened.
I don't think it happened in an earlier match.
I can't remember having seen it. Anyway, there it is after 5 minutes and 12 seconds of golden score. And a nice hug from Kang Yu-jon, Tanaki Funa.
Bitches from her fingers.
Yeah. Right, we'll see some highlights, and then it'll be Jean Shin, and we'll have Loretta Cusack-Doyle come back with the upcoming quarter-final between Julia Figueroa of Spain. She'll be up against Mary D. Vargas Lee of Chile. There's Jean.
This was really a beautiful turn. Okay, Figueroa versus Vargas Ley. Figueroa in the white from Spain, Vargas Ley from Chile in the blue. And welcome back to Loretta Cusack-Doyle.
Thank you. And yeah, it was a short break, but very interesting one walking down there. The dynamics of some of the coaches and referees in the Baku house is quite interesting to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously quite a few tears going on there as well.
Of course.
A very emotional area to be in at this moment.
As many tears as there are smiles.
Oh, definitely. There's no doubt. And in fact, I think there's more tears than there is smiles at the moment as we then...
Oh, hey, she's got two fingers there.
Obviously, they're looking to that Jujikatami. I think it was the
I think it was a
Jujikatami.
Shimiwaza.
Was it the Shimiwaza that she was going for
She was
there? It
grabbing
was a
two
bit of an
fingers
awkward
there.
position,
Yeah, that
wasn't
was
it, for
awkward.
that? To get to maximise the leverage on that, I don't think would have been the ideal approach there in the Niwaza.
So Vargas Ley coming in with the same attack that she was using against Cameroon. And Figueroa offering a very different proposition in response. Also for the
That's
Wazari.
gotta be
Barely missing the
good.
Ippon.
Oh, she was so close off of getting the maximum point there.
Really nice.
Beautifully done. Well, there's my little pocket rocket that's done it again. She's having a whale of a time out there. There's no doubt about it. She is really firing today. She has been so impressive.
Yeah, she has. So this is, just looking at her, seeing it on her face, I feel like, she's just completely focused. Her focus is just unwavering.
Oh, she's really, and she's such a gutsy performer, isn't she?
Yeah.
She really takes some risks out there at times.
Oh, see, look at that. Vargas Ley coming in with this very, just super
And
aggressive.
again, the Osotogari,
Yeah.
she's coming once more. Vargas Ley just, she's learned her valuable lesson about coming out of the Niwaza. She's learned a very valuable lesson. It's cost her a Wazari so far.
So, see that?
Well, Vargas Lee's looking a little bit under pressure now, isn't she? There is she.
Yeah.
Her face, the expressions
See,
on her
she-
face.
and
She's
she does
quite
that.
anxious looking now. Tayatoshi,
Yeah.
beautifully
And you saw how
executed.
Figueroa really was very deliberate in getting the double grip and then coming down. I think despite everything Vargas Ley is bringing to this match, Figueroa is just looking to be very deliberate. Is not impressed with this.
Osota.
But
Kosota.
look at that, how she rode that out. I'm just so taken with Figueroa and she's playing today.
Oh, she is a little bit of dynamite, isn't she, out there? She really is. She impresses me that even though at times some of her performances have been tactical, but she's
there
been
she
so
goes.
gutsy. And Osakomi there.
She hasn't been
straight
tactical
in.
today. I don't think. Oh, making her tap.
Yes,
Vargas Ley is tapping. Uh-oh. She's got it. Maybe something. No, she's okay.
Yep, she just obviously felt that there was
Okay.
no way of getting out of that.
Not getting out of a pin. That's it's always heartbreaking. Okay, so Figueroa through to the quarterfinals. She'll be meeting Tanaki.
Well, that's going to be a real challenge for her, and but
Yeah.
she has come a long, long way. And
But to get to
her
the
performance-
quarterfinals,
Her performance has been a real crowd pleaser, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that
And look at this.
determination on her
Yeah,
face.
I'm going to get
Bang,
it.
straight in there.
I can
Brilliant.
see it.
Hey.
Contest is
And there's the Osakomi we've seen,
60 kilos.
and as you can see, looking at the facial expression.
Okay, Nagayama versus Preciado. Nagayama in whites, Preciado in blue. We saw that beautiful throw
Well,
Preciado had.
The danger is Preciado with that grip over the belt. We saw him right at the beginning in the opening match of this competition. He was very impressive, wasn't he? Very
Yeah.
dangerous indeed.
But Nagayama, of course, is a very different prospect.
Yes, I think this is the ultimate challenge now, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if Georgia wasn't able to overpower Nagayama with everything he was bringing in, I don't think Preciado is going to be any more successful with that kind of approach.
But what I like about Preciado is that he's another gutsy fighter, isn't
Yeah,
he? He
definitely.
comes over, he's braved the arm over the top.
But he's
where
bouncing off of Nagayama.
and if you bounce, you know what's going to come next. It's the Ashiwazas. Takuri Ashihara is going to be there waiting for him. So he's got to be careful. As you can see, he leads as well with that foot before engaging with the grip. Again, another dangerous point to be in, and it was just full fit there.
He just looks unstable compared to Nagayama's stance. You know, and as you saw right there, Nagayama is able to take advantage of it. Just a little foot action, and Preciado is just coming down. So Preciado settles a little bit. There we go. See, settle a little bit. Oh, but you can't stay there. But that was good. He was able to ride Nagayama's Sewanage. Okay, I'm going to try to turn this.
So Nagayama leads with a Wazari now and just coming up to the halfway mark. And
Preciado is also down Shido, huh?
he's going to really toil to come through now. He's got very deep onto the back there. He's looking for that belt grip, as we've seen in previous matches. He can be very successful and dangerous indeed.
Definitely got an answer for it.
But yeah, I think he knows enough now to avoid how deep he can go.
And he's coming in with that hip
as well. He's bumping, isn't he? Bumping up with that hip.
Yeah, and so it turned Preciado's attack into a liability. All of a sudden, Preciado was too high and in danger of Koshiwaza.
Preciado, as you can see, throws that left hand very deep, but he leaves himself so soft, doesn't he, in his approach.
And he's getting predictable now.
He comes in so deep. He's very strong with the arms and the grip, but his hips and his feet are very soft. So he becomes unstable so quickly. He's not really, as he throws the arm in, he needs to ground himself and dig in deep on the hit, but he's not doing that.
Maybe even use a different attack because, you know, with a player like Nagayama, he's definitely going to read it.
Well, he's becoming more and more predictable, isn't he, really? Yeah. He's doing the same thing. He leads again with that foot. The Ashiwaza's there waiting for him. But I think for Nagayama, he's looking for the big throw, Nagayama, I think.
Oh, that might be Wazari Setipon. No? Shido for something.
Well, it looked like a throw from here.
I think he may have just sat down. I wonder what that Shido was for. It can't be non-combativity. Preciado's, even though he's not been effective, he's coming in. He's been coming in the whole time.
He's been engaging all the time throughout this contest. There's no doubt about it. You can't fault him for that. No. He's just up against a very tough opponent indeed. And there's the footwork now.
Oh!
And on that belt.
On the belt.
That's the first time he really got the belt.
But
that's the danger. Now this is Nagayama is playing with a little bit of fire here, and he's fueling that fire.
Oh, but see, there he goes, the Tayatoshi, which, you know, he's staying in the match.
10 seconds remaining, and
there we go.
Last attack from Nagayama.
Oh, okay.
Well, again, right to the end.
Right to the end.
Preciado was desperate attack there, but gave a good account of himself.
A good account, but
and
really...
at one stage, there was that glimmer that we saw in previous matches. That belt just shows you that you give someone an opportunity. He just didn't take full
against anybody else,
it
might have worked.
Yeah, I think so.
But against Nagayama, it just wasn't
He's just up
enough.
against a very tough opponent on the day. But overall, great performance from that man.
Yeah. So Nagayama through to the semis.
Yeah. Well, quarters. Through to the quarter, because we've got
Quarterfinals.
A and B, and then
that's
we've
right.
got the other side.
Okay.
So through to the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals.
The next contest, fourth round, men under 60 kilos.
Kim from the People's Republic of Korea versus Alami. As we've seen, Kim is an extremely effective player.
He's been very strong in his previous matchup up against Ashley McKenzie
And there
with
we
the
go.
Sienagi.
Uchimata.
And that looks
Sewanage, yes.
very, very
Ippon.
similar to what we saw
Yeah.
before.
That's clearly his
Ippon.
favorite technique. And there's just no
Nice
doubt. It
finish
was just
there.
a different class. So, Kim versus Nagayama. Going to be very interesting. Nagayama is going to have a very different match coming up than he's had all day today.
And now we come.
Same side grip. Just, yeah.
It's very effective throw, there's no doubt about it.
Not at all.
The more we see him, much more precise he is in that entry and finishing.
You know, that was really neat what he just did there. He had a left-handed grip. He let go of the collar, reached in with his right hand to get the same side on both hands. He switched with both hands as he was coming in.
So now we have Molbat, the number 1 seed in the under 48s, with Costa, the little pocket rocket.
But
This is
okay, so here we have the tactical player versus much more technical player.
Yes,
Munkbat, I think, is Mongolia. What I would describe Mongolian judo as being this really interesting mix of the technical and the physical. They come out with a great deal of physicality, but their technical execution is also excellent.
Yes.
I think Kosta's really got her work cut out for her with the
against a
tactical
very-
play that she
yes.
brings. Munkbat's just looking for a
I
good
think
opportunity.
there's going to be a real difference of physical maturity here and experience that's going to tear these two apart from
Okay.
bringing one that further up the ladder of expertise.
Yeah.
And that's Munkbat, with
Yeah.
all the experience that this young lady has under her belt. That physical and mental maturity flows.
So a nice sumigaish, but Munkbat cartwheeling out of it. And Munkbat really taking it to Costa. Costa, I just think, is just not going to have the opportunity to do. See, there she goes with that kind of throwaway sewanage.
And there you have the shimiwaza.
But, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's on there, but
Oh.
punished her anyway while she was down there.
Yep.
Munkbat throwing that right hand onto the collar. That's what she's looking for, taking the sleeve first. Trying to calm down Costa.
Sewanage. Costa throwing herself out to the side to avoid the throw. Really anchoring down.
Well, Costa reaching forward, trying to engage in this contest. Munkbat come there for the drop. Wasn't really that impressive of a
drawing.
movement. I'm surprised that she picked up a Shido for
Well, she
What looked
hasn't
to be a
really
poor attack.
done any other attacks. She did the
Kochigari
one.
there.
Yeah.
Munkbat, there she now follows through into the Niwaza.
Sankaku.
The Sangaku move. Now the unlock.
into Kansetsuwaza.
Yes.
Oh,
What a beautiful
Beautiful.
turnover.
Oh, watch the shoulder. Jeez. Yeah, that's bad. Oh. That was tough.
That was a very aggressive
That
move
was a
there,
very
wasn't
aggressive turn.
it? And but I don't think it was actually on the shoulder. I think it was really deep on that bicep, though. There was a real twist from working the tricep into the bicep, that twisting movement.
I agree.
Cross the bicep
Yeah.
and tricep together, I think.
That's really amazing that she did it like that. She could easily have just completely dislocated Costa's
Yes.
shoulder, but she didn't.
Well, let's have
She
another
just
look
used it
at
to
that.
turn her.
That nice
Yeah.
little bit of maneuvering there. Good
yeah.
awareness and what she was
Yeah.
trying to achieve. She
Right
came
there.
in. You would
Yeah.
have, and here
Yep.
you have it.
Yeah. Really amazingly technical turn.
48 feet.
She did it just enough to hold her, and she could have extended, but she didn't.
Yeah, she didn't extend it.
She did it just enough.
And here we
Okay,
have
Tanaki versus
Tanaki
Figueroa.
and Figueroa.
Figueroa has had a great day today.
Oh, she's had a blinder. I've been very impressed with this young lady, and nice
So
to see her
let's see how
battling
she
well.
does.
Definitely have a bit of a soft spot for this one.
Yeah.
Because she's brought so much excitement for
And
us
heart
here.
and focus and just sheer guts. But she's facing the match of her life right now.
Yes.
And her own stance is so close to a Japanese stance too. You know, really nice orientation of feet and shoulders. But Tanaki, you know, I think clearly has the edge in technical virtuosity.
Well, she's not looking so intimidated though. Figueroa, she really is taking this in her stride. And yeah, on paper, Tanaki is so far in front as far as results and what you would expect. And
Figueroa doesn't intimidate.
But no, you cannot. She seems to be is very much owning this match.
Yeah. She's playing it just like she's played every other match with everything she's
Out
got.
to win, and there's
Yeah.
no doubt about whoever's been put in her pathway. She has one focus, and that's to win.
Yeah.
Regardless who the person is, she's not intimidated
Nope.
at all.
Nope. Stepping out, second Shido in just a few seconds.
Well, this is where you want it just turned around a little bit. You want Figueroa to start sparking now and going, it's all or nothing. I've got nothing to lose. I've got it all to gain. And she's very much capable of doing that.
And here
High
she comes.
collar
Look
grip.
at
We
that.
saw
There
this
she goes.
before. The head down.
Oh,
she's
Shibata,
going
come in. There we go. Really coming in, but Tanaki's position and
quite
posture is
dangerous
just...
when she gets that high collar grip.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
really does upset them, doesn't she?
She does. But, you know, Tanaki's just not
Tanaki's
breakable
I
that
know
way.
she's a fantastic athlete, and you cannot take away that from her. But you've got someone like Figueroa that's really just...
Oh, Kosorogake.
Oh, goodness
Getting
me.
Tanaki to stumble a little bit.
And now this is a bit of a trouble that she could be in, Figueroa,
Yeah.
now, because
Tanaki likes to
Tanaki's
turn.
nice in the Niwaza. She really knows what she wants up there, down there, I should say.
So Figueroa did a good job of locking down the
Yeah.
arm.
Well,
Tanaki's taking this match very seriously.
Oh, she has to. She cannot.
And she
She
just had a
cannot
heck of a
not
match
take
with
this
Park. Kim. Park? Kim.
Oh, yeah.
Kang. Against Kang from Korea. That was a long match.
She's taking down that sleeve that obviously Figueroa likes, that left hand, which she wants to get up high in the collar. And Tanaki felt the pressure with that left hand on, so she's making sure that that doesn't happen again. As you can see, she's keeping that left side back slightly. Step across what was an attempt of what I think a Tai Toshi, which a little bit scrappy, making herself look really
She's
passive
just
down there.
compromised here.
And Tanaki, obviously, as much as she is technically, she doesn't mind a win's a win.
Yep.
And it'll get her
She's
through
very
to
practical.
the semi-final. So
No.
she knows that her opponents stand for 2 Shidos. One more would result in the Hansokimaki. She's making her opponent look quite passive.
And, you know, as much as Figueroa has tried to come in, you know,
High collar grip.
she has made Tanaki stumble a couple times, but...
Couple of times.
Oh!
Oh, what a turnover
Is that a score? Is that a score? Is that not a score? Why isn't that a score? Oh! Why wasn't that a score?
Well, she pulled her back, caught her up onto her shoulders.
She
It was on the
did. She
tip of the
turned her
shoulders.
completely over from a standing position.
Oh, goodness. me.
Why
Well,
wasn't
it'd
that
be
a score?
Interesting to see that one again. Well, Tanaki wins the quarterfinal and takes herself swiftly into the semi-final of the under 48 kilos. But for Figueroa,
God.
you've got
Just
to give
for
her
a moment.
110%
Oh.
there. She just fought her heart out. And for the surprise of us, it'd be interesting just to
If we could see that, yeah.
move again.
We can see that highlight.
Obviously, there was something that we've just missed, but
Okay, here we go. Oh, she's down.
she's down already.
She's down, that's
so
why.
it was a turnover.
Yeah, it's just a turnover. Yeah.
Oh,
And she
right.
went to her knee,
Yeah.
so...
That was it.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
surprising
It was
what
so
you miss
quick.
when you get so excited.
And it was so quick. I mean, that was in slow motion, so... But... So, and the referee's completely on top of it.
Yeah. Our heart was ruling our head just there, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
Oh, now we have the quarterfinal for the under-60s, Nagayama and Kim. Nagayama representing Japan in the white and Kim, the People's Republic of Korea, in blue. Well, this will be
This will be a heck of a
interesting
match.
This is going to be a tough one indeed.
And we've only seen half of the bracket on this match.
That's correct.
We've only seen
yes.
pools A and B for the women and pool A for the men.
That's right.
You know, and so there was a whole pool B for the men and a whole pool B and C, D and C for the women.
It'll be interesting following the final block where we can see those that have got themselves to positions of possible medals, and that'll be really interesting indeed. So we've got some wonderful matches ahead of us to spectate. Can't wait. Well, we're into the first minute, and it's a little bit cagey for both. But then Kim has been... Oh, the Uchimata! A
Uchimata!
bit of an overspin on there, but nevertheless, you can't take that away from him. I just thought he had too much of a spin.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if
so
it was the Ippon or was it a Wazari.
And so Kim's strategy that he's had has been so successful against everybody else, just did not work against Nagayama. Nagayama, given the slightest chance, was able to take Kim's distance that he was holding out and convert it to that beautiful
Yeah.
Uchimata.
He just
Look at
stepped
that.
it up there. Look,
See,
Uchimata.
right there. No,
Oh,
yeah, he's
Ippon.
right, flat.
He's right, Ippon.
Yeah.
The spin
Look at that.
came afterwards.
And he's on both cuffs. He even lost a grip.
He has one sleeve.
Look
grip
at this.
the end.
Beautiful
Sleeve.
interior, driving Uchimata. Perfect.
But what he did, he had the Uchimata, he had the one sleeve, but the other hand, even though
Came
he
on
lost
the
grip,
inside.
he used it.
Yeah, he did
to
use it.
just control the motion
Control the motion. Keep him from yeah.
from over rotating.
So,
That was
beautiful
nice.
Nagayama finish. And that takes us into I think that completes.
That completes until 4 o'clock
Until
this
4 o'clock.
afternoon. So I do hope you've enjoyed as much as we have.
It's been a great
watching
pleasure
the first
being
game,
with you
but
today.
It's been a wonderful pleasure working here alongside you, Jean, and look forward to tomorrow. But this afternoon we will start at 4 o'clock, and all these contests for both. So you will not miss anything. None of the action, and we look forward to you joining us tomorrow. But for us, I'd like to say goodbye. And
See you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Great to see you.
And look forward to you joining us for the final block at 4 o'clock this afternoon, where you will be listening to Sheldon Franco-Rook and the voice of Judo, Mr. Neil Adams, the Jigoro Kano of voice. Goodbye.
Goodbye.